Happy Friday, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. It's actually Ben, Woods, and Woods here today. Got my my 8-year-old little angel, the young master Bo Woods, joins us live in studio. He's playing on his iPad right now. What you doing over there?
Oh.
Playing baseball?
Yeah.
All right. Don't go on the internet, like looking for naked girls or anything like that. All right? It's what? I'm not as weird as you, he says. All right. That's fair. Very fair. Good morning. You're looking great. Great to have you up early and in studio with your old man. Happy summer to you. You're welcome. I got Paul Reindl, our executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. And Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well.
Good morning. It begs the question, should we as adults still get some sort of summer break?
Yes. My God. Thought about it yesterday, and I was driving home sad that I was like, sad, but also like happy for Bo and Taylor here pretty soon. Because that feeling, you remember it. I was driving home and I remember the feeling of like, oh my God, that first day where you're like, I don't have to get up. I don't have to go to school. I don't have to eat cardboard pizza. I don't have to eat, drink milk at lunch. I just can get up and do what I want. I can ride my bike to see my friends. I can watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off on the VCR. I can do whatever I want. And it was just the
have a
best.
Water fight tomorrow.
Yeah,
to kick off the summer.
Gonna go swimming at my buddy's place.
Yeah.
Like, of course.
But what would happen if just all of a sudden they passed a law and, 3 weeks every summer, everybody gets it off. But then think about it. There's nowhere to go because everybody's off. No one's working. You can't go out to eat because all the restaurants are closed. Grocery stores are closed.
You got to stagger it. You got to stagger it. Yeah, you stagger it.
It's staggered.
Yeah. And if you work, you get paid time and a half or something, or double or something. I don't know. There's got to be a way around. They do this in Europe, I'm pretty sure. Those people work like 12 days a month, and they figure it out. Europe's still doing okay, as far as I know. People still like to go there.
It's funny because Americans are viewed as lazy, but we're also the most giant workaholics on the planet.
100%.
Somehow both are true.
And have convinced ourselves that this is the right way. This is the right way.
There's no other possible way.
Grind till I die, bro. And and people are like, hell yeah, man. That's the winner's mindset.
That's one of the most frustrating things in life to me is
crazy.
Just because we've always done something one way, we have to keep doing it. It's like, hey, that's evolution. That's just growing as a society, as people. Like if things can be done better, let's do it better.
Let's do it better. Even what you could do, and it would be phenomenal. Is you could give people we're done with the 2-day weekend because it's not even really a weekend. It is for us. We're lucky. We get off at 10. But, let's say Friday night you go out, and then Saturday you wake up and you're like, well, tomorrow's Sunday. I can't really do anything tomorrow. And then Sunday comes and you're like, oh, God, I got work on Monday. Just give everybody Friday off. 4-day work week, 3-day rest, and do it right. That's what all the salespeople and management do here. They do 3-day work weeks. They get 4 days off. I mean, they work from home, but it's working for management here. So there's got to be a better way, but a full summer break would be elite.
I mean, we progressed very slowly over the centuries. It used to be you worked Monday through Saturday all day, sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, it was the Lord's Day.
You rest.
You prayed and rested, and then you went back to it the next day for 6 straight days until you get to pray and rest. At some point in the last 100 to whatever years, they decided, why don't we do it 5 and 2?
Yeah.
How long does it take before you take the next step to 4 and 3?
Let's try 4 and 3. But no, the summer thing is real, and listen, somebody said in Italy, they take August off. Dominic just said he worked at Belmont Park. He said some of the rides there were Italian made, and you had to make sure you got all your parts ordered before August because you wouldn't get anything. We are not coming to work, like, oh, there he is. No. Like, I don't know, man. I'm telling you.
So everyone at the Italian roller coaster factory
out the whole month of August.
No replacement parts available for the entire month of August.
Yeah, talk to me in September. I'll be back. But no, it's great. I'm, for summer, They got a lot of stuff planned, camps and vacations and grandparents and stuff like that. So
See, with our job in particular, we are very busy during the summer. It's baseball season.
Baseball season, yeah, 100%. Can't take it. You can take our summer.
Can we take a winter break?
Well, pods don't usually go that long in October. We could honestly take the entire month of November, most of December off. 6-week summer would be fantastic. But we haven't gotten to that point in our career yet.
It's kind of the dream to be able to get to the point where we could do maybe a show or two after the World Series. We'll take you through the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then it's all right.
So you guys,
only 174 days until pitchers and catchers report. We'll talk to you then.
Yeah. I would miss the tier ones after a while. And then you're at home doing honeydews all day. But yeah, Bo actually asked me if he could come in today. So I said, sure, come on in and hang out. And he doesn't mind getting up early. He was ready to go before I was this morning. So he's in.
Any hot takes about Manny Machado, or
what do you think? Put him, what mic?
You got to talk into that one closest to him.
This one right here?
Yep.
Not that convenient for you. What about this one? Doesn't work?
Just put one in front of his face and I'll make it work.
Grab that mic, pull it over. All right. You got it.
Scintillating.
Yeah. Like your baseball takes are any better. All right, go ahead. Is Manny still your favorite player? Oh, man. We've had a bit of a revolution in the Woods house, I think. Who's your favorite player right now?
Toddy.
Toddy's your favorite player. So you're the kind of guy that only likes somebody when they're doing well.
Blow with the wind a little bit.
Yeah, you go blow with the wind. Most kids are. Maybe we should be more like that. But no, we're still consuming. He's still consuming a lot of Padres baseball, but he's more in the camp now of playing. Can't play enough baseball. Can't collect enough baseball cards. But look at him. He's playing baseball on his iPad right now. He is a full baseball junkie. But yeah, Bubba, we're gonna have AJ Preller on today. Is there anything that you would ask AJ today when we have him on?
Maybe.
All right, think about it. He's very quick on his feet, as you can tell.
Can you elaborate?
Like father, like son. But yeah, work on a question. If you want to ask him a question, I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
I'm glad to see Bo. And
you're not though. You don't have to lie.
No,
literally
I'm happy for him.
Bo,
that summer
I'm glad to
vacation
see
is
you.
here.
You get so.
But I'm thinking of his brother who is still in school and how there was no worse feeling than those days where you had to go to school and for some reason your sibling did not. It felt like the most unfair thing on the planet. Like
Ferris Bueller.
How could a world exist in which I am required to go to school, yet my sibling, for some reason, has been excused from that? Not through illness, but through the actual schedule of the school.
Yep.
Different than mine. Now, somewhere in my brain, I probably knew that I probably got a day off that he didn't at some point.
Yeah.
But in that moment, it feels like
didn't fit your narrative.
No.
it feels like the worst possible thing, like the worst punishment that could ever be meted out is you have to go to school and your sibling does not,
or she doesn't.
Correct.
I know. Never mind. I know you didn't, Ben. Woods, did you ever have to do like Saturday school?
I never got Sat. I don't think we had Saturday school.
We did.
We had an IEP. Which was in-school suspension, or ISS, I think it was called. We had in-school suspension, so all your friends would be in class. You'd be in the dark back garage-looking room with all the other hoods sitting in there all day in like silence. You had to eat lunch in there, dude. It was
cigarettes.
Yeah,
I was gonna say playing cards for cigarettes,
bro. It was solitary. You're in solitary, but with 8, 10 other rejects in there. So we had that. We did not do Saturday school. I don't think the teachers were like, I'm not coming here on Saturday to work with these idiots. And then we had detention. And then we had suspension. And we had expulsion. I was never expelled. I was suspended. And I did have in-school suspension quite a bit.
In-school suspension.
Yeah. I was like, hey, man, you got 5 detentions. You have ISS. You're like, all right. And my friend, your friends will be like, see you later.
Your other classes, or did you have to go during lunch, or when was that?
What do you mean?
Well,
no, you go your whole day there, and they bring you your work. Yes,
but you don't get to be with your other classmates and teachers.
You're with the dregs of the earth in there, and you're like, working on your stuff by yourself. Like you kind of work at your own pace. It's not that bad.
I can see that,
but it's also you're missing out on all your friends and the girls and
Yeah.
everything else and like eating lunch with them. And you don't get that. You sit in a dark, it's like a garage. It literally is like a garage. And you sit in there and roast. And, you're just like, what has my life become? So that's what we had in our school. But no, we had a phenomenal day yesterday. We went to the San Diego Fair.
That's right.
And it was awesome. Family therapy yesterday. We hit, all right, so right when we walked in the door, straight to the hot dog on a stick, okay? Crushed that. It was delicious. Then we went to, what is that area called? Like Funland?
The
or
Fun Zone.
Fun Zone?
Zone
The Kitty Land?
The one for the smaller kids?
It was Fun Zone.
Fun Zone. Yeah, the one for the smaller kids.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments was we go in, Bo and Taylor and their friends Jackson and Ryder go into one of those fun houses,
Ooh.
right? And you step in, and the first thing you have to do is get through this mirrored maze. So I
love the mirrored maze.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Of course you do.
So I looked at it, and it gave me immediate anxiety. Immediate, because I remember The Shining. And I was like, I couldn't do this. My 5-year-old, Taylor, is walking. He's walking through the mirrored maze, and he does this. He's walking through, and he's looking at us out, and he just goes, bam.
That's the great part of the mirrored maze.
He runs right into the wall. Hannah and I cannot control ourselves. I mean, I'm like, he's looking out. He gets freaked out. He can't find his way out. Hannah has to go in the maze and guide him through.
Johnny.
Yes, dude. He hit that thing so hard, bro.
Here's Johnny.
Hannah had to go in and get him, and it was incredible. So then we did. All right, I had candied pork bellies.
Candied pork belly. Nice.
Wrapped in bacon.
Yeah.
Right. And covered with what?
Powdered sugar?
No. Syrup, I think. That was the candied part. We had,
I still don't get it why they call it candy though.
because it's like sweet.
Call
Just
it
zip your
pork
lip
belly.
over there. All right. So pork bellies, turkey leg. Hannah had a cinnamon roll. I had a shake. Bo had a shake. Taylor had an ice cream cone.
Okay.
I think that's it.
That's plenty.
It was plenty. We were
Yeah.
there 4
I was gonna
hours.
say, that's about $400 right there.
Yeah, it was pricey for sure. Cheaper than Disneyland, but it's
And you had the wristbands.
yeah, they had the wristbands, so they just would literally go and ride the ride and do it again.
Did you
and
do
it
any
again.
of the midway games?
Oh my God! Did you not see the picture? They won 15 stuffed animals each. Now the best part is at the end when you walk out. Hannah says to them, "Guys, it would be nice if you donated those because you don't need them, and you guys have plenty, and you have too much. These are for they do a donation at the end. You can leave your toys there for kids that are in the hospital and would love a little stuffed animal as they've just come out of major surgery." Sweet Angel over here walks up, puts all 5 of his through the big hole.
Aw.
Taylor walks up with his 5 and goes, throws one and he goes, "All right, I'm done. That's it." And walks off with 4 more in his hands. I go, "Tay, that's it?" He goes, "Yep." I go, "You're taking all those." Oh, look, there, this is the picture.
Giving 20% of your,
Better than
your
none.
It's
income
better.
to,
You're right. It's
to
better.
charity is not a bad thing.
It is better than nothing.
Now, what games were played to win such prizes?
The balloon pop,
Oh,
the
yeah.
shoot,
Dart balloon pop?
shoot the water
In the clown's mouth?
into the hole until the
Into the balloon
Yep.
fills up and then explodes.
No, you're way off.
No.
It shoots up. There was a dog on top of it.
Oh, it,
shoots
it climbs,
all,
it up,
climbs up to the
until
top.
it rings the bell at the top.
Right.
Yeah, whoever gets up wins.
That's right. Whoever gets
So
to
the
the
Ring
the top.
toss.
They did the ring toss on the ducks.
No, we didn't.
Taylor did. They did break the balloons with hacky sacks. I feel like the games were much easier for them than they were for us. They're much more giving of the stuffed animals. When we were kids, it was you could pay $20, not
get
pop the
nothing.
balloon, and you walk
You
away.
get nothing.
Nothing. I don't think I saw a kid turned away for anything. Now, we have moved past the need for a carnival barker. The guy, "Hey, buddy, over, hey." He's on the mic.
Oh, God.
"Hey, bud, oh, hey, you. No, yeah, you with the pretty girlfriend over there. You, come on over. Yeah, come on." And I'm like, "Leave me alone, dude. Do not talk to
Anybody
me."
can win this game.
Yeah,
Let me
anybody.
show you.
Hey.
Nothing's easier than this one. Win a big prize.
Don't be a P word. Come on over here. Come on. What are you, scared little bee? Come on over. And you're just sitting there going, what is happening? Yeah, so they are way less rigged than they used to be when we were kids. No question. But, dude, they do such a good job there. The lines were moving. Everything was quick. The ability to scan wristbands now instead of, hang on, let me dig for these 8 tickets. Here, there's 8 for him, and there's 8 for him. Hang on one second. Let's get him some more. Here's 8 for him. They just run through and they scan them, and they're off and running. The rides are still at every carnival. They're methy. You know what I mean? They're rickety. You're waiting for this thing to shoot off of the rail. But
I feel like it's a thing we don't really ever talk about when it comes to the fair, but we all think it. Like, Magic Mountain, Disneyland, it goes months and years into those rides.
Oh, yeah.
And these rides, they just kind of travel around and just pop them up, and you're like,
where's the quality control?
Yeah.
Also, the carny is the person that fascinates me maybe the most on the planet.
You're like, so I'm trusting that guy built that thing.
That guy built that thing. He's really put his heart and soul into it. He greased up everything that needs to be greased up, and it's ready and it's safe for these children. Okay. Then he's gonna pack this up, disassemble it, pack it up,
and move up to Santa Cruz.
for the next stop it in Riverside. So I don't know, man. They do fascinate me, and I know some of them are contracted and they're local. Great, there's plenty of jobs and stuff, but I do feel like I was listening to 2 guys. I was trying to hear their conversation, and it was like, "Hey, man, do you ever work for so and so?" He's like, "Oh, I work for that guy." Like I was like, "Oh, I could sit here all day and listen to their carny stories of traveling the country." But they did a great job, man. It was awesome. We had a great time.
Ragging on Big Circus.
Yeah, Big Circus, exactly. I made it 4 hours on the nose. I was cooked. I wore shorts. That's how hot it was on that blacktop.
Ooh.
Back of my legs are seared red. It was fun though. We had a great time. The kids were, by the end of it, kind of out of their minds with the food and the sugar and everything else. But it was awesome.
Padres will be dealing with the heat today. I think it's supposed to be like 93 in Baltimore
Muggy.
for the series opener.
Oh,
man. Wet, 35% chance of thunderstorms, but still 93 degrees.
Yeah. Miserable.
Tomorrow's about 89, but sunny, and then another chance of rain on Sunday and hot still. So
miserable.
Yeah,
It just drains you. It drains me to think about it. Imagine those guys waking up in Baltimore like, all right, let's go get through this today.
Yeah,
but
we had AJ Cassavell as our roundtable guest yesterday.
Awesome.
And he was great. But then afterwards, he said, we get one trip every year for MLB.com that we say we don't have to go on. And I saw the schedule immediately and I go, this one.
It's Baltimore,
after that miserable Baltimore
St. Louis,
weather.
and Texas.
Dude, that's an easy pick.
And he goes,
Actually, they found out not one MLB reporter will be at that series ever. Holy cow.
He's taking some time off. He's going up to Vancouver to catch a World Cup game.
Genius.
Good for him.
His friend lives up there. So this is the one where someone else gets assigned to the San Diego Padres for coverage during this road trip. And I go, ooh, muggy, East Coast, humid. Good choice, AJ.
Literally anything would have been better. Anything.
Yeah, Texas would have been fine because it'll be indoors. It's hot, but it's going to be indoors. But St. Louis and Baltimore, it's no brainer, man. You don't feel like you're missing much, either on those trips. So, what are you up to? Bathroom. All right, you good? Kid, dude.
You're allowing him just unsupervised.
Yeah, there's no one here. It's Odyssey on a Friday. We're the only people in the building.
Hello.
That's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy to me.
Hello.
Supposed to be hustling and bustling and
we should take a picture of him at Adam's desk later
yeah.
today.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Go mess around in Adam's office.
That's a good idea. Glad to see someone's working around here today. Isn't that great? Adam had his little guy in yesterday, Ethan, and turns out. So he plays on Summer League for Frozen Ropes. I'm sure you've heard Adam's very lucrative endorsement that he has. And his son plays for Frozen Ropes. My team, the Goats, is playing Frozen Ropes in a couple weeks. We could have a Woods Klug showdown. So I told Bo last night, I go, if you see Ethan, you got to punch him. And not punch him out. You got to strike him out. And he goes, well, how will I know which one he is? I go, oh, you'll know which one he is. He's the same height as his dad, and he looks just like him. So get him. You have to get him. Do not let him get a knockoff of you. Do not.
Bobo, you gonna strike out Adam's kid?
Yeah, you going to strike out Adam's kid if you face him? You want to? Don't hit him, though, please. No, don't hit him. I would rather see.
I won't.
Okay, all right. I would rather see a punch out there. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's. How will I know what he looks like? I'm like,
You'll know.
you can't miss him. You can't. Hey, do I have to hit third?
You're like, hey, Bo.
Hey, Mo, do you have to throw me a slider? It's so good. So that's in a couple of weeks. I think we should have tier ones out for that. I think it would be, we don't have to sell tickets. We can give tickets away, but
Stream it.
We stream it. Yes.
Stream it on our YouTube channel.
I think it would be so good. So good. So yeah, man, we're here. If there's anything you need Bo for, he is there at your dispense.
We've also got World Cup. U.S. today makes their debut. I went to O'Brien's yesterday in Kearney Mesa, a great soccer bar in town for the Mexico game. Did a story. Seemed like every bar and restaurant was packed with people watching
Crazy
World Cup yesterday.
So, Paulie, did you see the video that Benjamin did on Instagram with whom again?
Emily Coffee.
Emily, did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should play the audio. I want to do the smug meter, a level of 1 to 10. How smug? All right. We'll do the condescension meter.
Well,
how condescending.
Emily's great, but she, the day before, took a little shot at me on one of her videos.
Did she?
She went out to Petco Park, and the Remote Work Wednesday guy was there.
Oh, I saw that guy.
And did the first pitch. And she did a story on him and his crew and what he does on Remote Work Wednesday. And she was doing her video piece and said, I mean, how hard is it to work remotely at Petco Park? If Ben Higgins can do it, then anyone can do it. So
shots were fired.
Shots were fired by Emily this week already.
Ben Smuggins instead of Ben Higgins. All right, we'll pull the audio. We'll play that. We have to talk about Kevin Acey's latest piece. I will admit I was wrong, and I will tell you what I know about the phenomenon that is Teacher Man. I showed you guys the video this morning. You guys had never seen it before. You guys looked like you were looking at.
I did not like what I saw.
You didn't like what
and
you saw.
If you haven't seen this, we'll explain. But essentially, the narrative now is this is the guy who broke Manny Machado.
Correct.
I mean, that's what everyone's thinking at this point. The man who broke Manny Machado.
And it actually gave me a sense of relief to read. Oh, okay.
That's all it is.
Now it makes sense. Now you have to undo bad habits that you've created. You have to. We talk about it all the time with our kids. You have to undo bad habits. Don't practice bad habits.
Yeah.
And it was a sense of relief that washed over me. And I went, okay, now it's not the only thing. Right, obviously, and Manny addresses that in his piece. I thought it was a really good piece from Kevin. If you missed it in the UT, it's really, really good. So we'll talk about that for sure.
Yes, and you're aware of who this person was.
Very,
you mentioned last week, and I had no idea what you were talking about.
Years.
But we will explain it all coming up. We'll set the menu for the Friday edition of Ben and Woods. You'll be surprised how many people, because I brought my camera to O'Brien's yesterday, and they said, "Don't put me on camera. I'm supposed to be at work right now." Like 5 people said, "Don't put me on camera."
Wow.
My boss thinks I'm working right now. And everyone was just watching soccer and eating nachos and enjoying the first of 39 straight days of this all summer long. So it sounds
awesome.
Seems like San Diego very much into the World Cup. We will talk about it. We've got guests, including AJ Preller on a Friar Friday. Our management report coming up at 8 o'clock. We'll tell you who else is joining the program. All coming up, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, San Diego, an incredible place to live. But let's be honest, it's not getting any cheaper. Housing, healthcare, taxes, groceries, it all adds up. And when people start thinking about retirement, one fear rises to the top. You know what it is. What if my money doesn't last? That's where Trajan Wealth comes in. TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth's fiduciary advisors help people build retirement strategies designed for today's reality, factoring in inflation, market uncertainty, and the real cost of living right here in San Diego. They take the time to understand your goals, your comfort level, because no two retirements look the same. Trajan Wealth has offices Liberty Station, Carlsbad, and Del Mar, and they work with people who want confidence and not constant financial stress. So if this has been on your mind, start with a conversation. Just call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1. or take a few minutes online at trajanwealth.com. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. No game to talk about, but we certainly have a busy show for you on a Friday. We will get into the teacher man stuff, the story in the Union Tribune about Manny's offseason coach and why that may have a outsized impact on his slow start to the season and what it all means in just a couple of minutes. It's crazy that you actually brought him up last week.
Yeah, so I've known about Teacher Man for years because I love hitting. I've never been good at it, but I love hitting, and I love the science of it, and I loved seeing all sorts of different ways to go about it. And I heard about him, guys. It's been about 5 years, I think, since he came on my radar, and then I started noticing, like, oh, okay, well, this is interesting. There's like a 70-year-old man in jeans, and he is holding a PVC pipe, and he's telling me to snap my wrist. I don't really get it. It didn't jive with me. Not saying that it doesn't work. I'm just saying it never made sense in my head. I've watched other guys and gone, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense, right? But with him, it never made sense. And then I started following along with him, and I saw how crazy rabbit-eared he was about if anybody questioned his methods, he would go nuts. And I'm pretty rabbit-eared, but I was like, this guy puts me to shame. And he would fight back. Then I started seeing old school baseball players go after him, which gave me pause because I went, usually when the old school guys go, this sucks, this is not good, I'm like, I think there's something here. Still didn't jive with me. So I'd seen a couple of rumors on Twitter, like, oh, man, he worked with Teacher Man. And in my mind, I thought to myself, there is no way on God's green earth that Manny Machado went to work with Teacher Man. There's just no way. His name is Richard Shank. There's no way he went to Richard. No way. Zero. There's no chance. And I don't know where people are getting this from. Turns out I was dead ass wrong. He absolutely did.
We will talk about it coming up here. Coming up in our 7 o'clock hour, our MLB Reach Around and Don't Do This. And then at 7:35, Darren Smith will join us on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It's Better Weekly Conversation with our friend, the SDFC broadcaster and the host of Friar Territory and the Section 1904 podcast. He has been part of the local Fox World Cup coverage. He was out there yesterday with Julian at their big beach party, watch party for the Mexico game. He has also done an entire World Cup preview. So if you're interested at all in learning more about the tournament, maybe like us, and we're not experts on, national teams, Darren's got it for you today.
Are you sure you're not an expert? Because you sure sounded like an expert on Instagram last night.
I certainly know how if we want to. I certainly know how the format of the tournament works.
Okay, because I saw that and thought, man, this guy is an expert.
It's the one where he's sitting down next to Emily, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I am sitting in my chair in the corner of the newsroom, and she came up and just asked, "Hey, can you help me with a video?"
Okay, so all in all, there are 48 teams.
48 teams.
They're divided into 12 groups of 4.
4 times 12 equals 48.
They all play each
stop.
other
Pause right there.
once.
Stop.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he did. He did. On a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, Ben
Smuggins, what would you give yourself there?
That's a 12.
That's a 14.
Well, 4 times 3 equals 12. It's a 12.
What am I supposed to say? She said, I would like to go through. This is how she explained it to me.
Right,
She
I'll
said,
be you, you be her.
okay. Ben, can you help me? I'm going to go through the format of the tournament, and you just tell me if I've got it right or wrong.
Correct.
And so I'll sit next to you, and we'll set up the video, and you just tell me to make sure I've got it right, because I'm going to explain it, and we'll do a graphic on the screen for all the World Cup.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
I said, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I understand how it works. We can do that.
Great.
And so when she says, so there are 48 teams.
Right.
They are divided into 12 groups of 4.
Correct.
I thought I needed to add more than just yes.
You wanted to
give every time.
You decided I'd like to add a low-level multiplication problem for her, like she didn't know.
48 teams.
They're divided into 12 groups of 4.
4 times 12 equals 48.
She said divided. So I went with the multiplication problem.
All right.
You might as well have said, wow, you can do math.
Very good. Do you make
Pat her on the
do you make
head.
sandwiches as good as you do math? That's what you might have. You might as well have said that.
Let's continue.
Play each other once, and then the top 2 teams advance.
Right. Every team gets 3 games in their group,
Mhm.
and the first
Look at
and second place teams in each group, based on points, advance to the final 32.
There are other 8 teams who also scored high, but not high enough to advance from their group.
The best 8 third place teams will go on and join those 24 to give you your 32 teams that advance.
Okay, 32
Question.
teams play each.
Is there anything in the world that you love more than Ben Splain? Is there
She
anything
basically
in the
gave
world?
me carte blanche to Ben Splain away on this video. Was I delighted at the opportunity to get to Ben Splain on this video? Yes, I was.
You are a legend. It's legendary.
Other
Legendary.
in a sudden death round.
Yes, like single elimination, like the NCAA tournament, 1 game and you're done. So 32 becomes 16,
Okay.
16 becomes 8,
Yes.
8 becomes 4, 4 becomes 2, and 2 becomes your 1.
Oh my goodness. You know,
So
remedial
Emily,
math.
this is what we call a bracket.
This is how it
and
works.
in these
You
tournaments,
win
this is how
or
it
you
works.
lose. And if you
I mean, it was
lose-
designed for the non-World Cup, non-soccer sports fan, I think, that
Yeah.
she was targeting.
Right.
So I was trying to keep it at a
You
very
did it.
base, simple level for
World Cup
everybody.
champion.
But why do we care so much?
Yeah, it was well done.
All right.
It was very smug. The smiling was really good too. You knocked it out of the park. But that, yes, 12 times 4 is 48.
48 teams.
48
So I
teams.
talked to
They're
my
divided
kids like,
into 12 groups of 4.
4 times 12 equals 48.
They all
oh my God. You're a legend. A legend. She's great too. She's really, really good.
She's
at
really
her-
good,
her
especially
social
at
media.
those vertical videos
Yeah.
that she does for us.
She's
They're
fantastic.
Really, really good.
Why were you so mean to her then? Why were you so condescending?
I was agreeing with her. I was confirming that her knowledge was correct.
Ben Smuggins is such a good bit. Thank you, Purple, for suggesting that. I never would have thought of it. It was great.
All right. Well, Darren's more than welcome to explain to me things very simply because he knows so much more than I do
Yes.
about the World Cup and the U.S. men's national team and their matchup against Paraguay tonight. He will join us coming up at 7:35 in our 8 o'clock hour. We will kick off the 8 o'clock hour with our management report and talk to the president of baseball operations for your San Diego Padres, AJ Preller. I mean, got to ask him about the AC piece, about Teacher Man and
yes.
Manny Machado and his thoughts. I'm sure he knew about this. This is not coming as a surprise. I'd imagine anybody inside the Padres organization, but now that it's out there, they're going to kind of have to say what what they think.
There's
And
pictures like around the building, like not allowed in.
Do not. I think we'll talk about it too. We'll dispel some of the rumors and worries. I think that I did see some fans tweeting about yesterday. Like, oh no, like, is this an indictment on the Padres? I mean, I think every single player in baseball probably has somebody that he works with in the offseason that's not their own hitting coach. Now they fire hitting coaches or they leave. So there's really not a plan in place. What do you want them to do? Now,
Well, they all have their own guys that they
always,
work with
forever.
and train with. But
it's
I
like
was
a
Freddie-
golfer. You've
Freddie
got
Freeman's
you've
like
got
I
your own
call my
personal
dad.
swing coach.
yeah,
somewhere.
Freddie Freeman calls his dad when he's in a slump.
but I'm
Bryce
genuinely
Harper.
I'm genuinely curious, like from AJ Preller's perspective,
Yeah.
like does a superstar, does it make a difference if it's a superstar or a rookie? Like, do they need to run that by their manager, their president of baseball operations? Like, did he know like back in October or whatever that like when Manny started working with this guy, does he sign off on that stuff? Does he have any input on that kind of stuff?
I don't think that he does. I don't. We can ask him.
I'm just
certainly,
curious.
but like, Shank is this is a different one. If you heard Manny Machado went to Driveline to help increase bat speed and whatever, you'd go, oh, hell yeah, man, putting in the effort. You see Manny Machado went to Richard Shank, you're like, what the hell happened? He's in jeans with a PVC pipe.
You're racist against jeans.
I am. I'm genist. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. It's true.
Denimist.
A denimist.
It's hard for me to trust a coach in jeans. It is. I'm sorry. You may have come straight from the rodeo, and that's fine. If you came straight from the rodeo, great. even if you came from work, you could put a pair of shorts or sweatpants in the car you change into. I've done it 1,000 times.
Baseball actually has its own style of pants. Baseball pants.
Correct. Absolutely.
They're like
Now,
designed for the sport.
coaches in baseball pants, that's also another issue. That's another problem entirely.
We can get rid of that, I think. I'm
But
okay with that.
It is weird. Teacher man is weird to me. It's weird to me.
So we'll talk to AJ at 8 o'clock. At 8:20, our last game of Take on Woods for the week. We got our TV category remaining. Your chance to win the staycation at the Town and Country and the $250 food and beverage credit. Then at 8:35, we got another guest. We will be catching up with old friend Josh Lewin, who this season has rejoined the Baltimore Orioles broadcast team. And I didn't realize this, but he actually started long, long ago as an Orioles minor league broadcaster who occasionally got to fill in for the big club. So he's back to where he started, and we haven't talked to him in a while, but always one of our favorites and such a terrific broadcaster.
Well, I mean, and of course, Charger fans will remember Josh Lewin very, very well. One of the best voices. I have a question.
So
I have
good.
a question for him, and I'm nervous to ask him because I don't want him to be offended. But for me, pound for pound, he's like top 3 for me. And I wondered, why haven't you just been with the same team for like 30 years because you're that good? Why has he bounced around to 5, 6, 7 different big league ball clubs?
Did he start with the Texas Rangers?
Start with Baltimore. Started with Baltimore, did some fill in, went to Boston,
Texas, New York, Angels,
Detroit. He's been around. He's been around, and maybe that's just the nature of the business. There's radio men that have gone to 25 different markets.
And I wonder, his main job is the UCLA, so he does football and basketball all year long.
But
so
he
may not be able to do a full baseball schedule.
Is his main job UCLA because he's had to bounce around so much? Is the chicken or the egg come first?
Also, isn't that like 4 Saturdays in the baseball season?
Right.
That he could maybe just take off.
That's true. And for me, like Don goes and does national games. For me, Josh Lewin should be a figurehead in some organization. Hey, man, you are the Twins broadcaster, and you're going to be here until you're ready to retire because he's that good at what he does.
Fair
so
enough.
I love Josh.
Fair enough. In our 9 o'clock hour, we'll get some Randall Report headlines. We have no game tonight. We had Stanley Cup finals, now 3-2 Carolina. They won last night. Basketball is off until tomorrow. Stanley Cup is off until Sunday. But both teams, we got the Hurricanes and the Knicks just a win away.
I know Darren Smith,
from
very,
titles.
very excited. I was texting with him yesterday. He goes, I still cannot believe what happened.
I didn't bother him night after
No.
the big comeback and the incredible tip in and all that. I did not bother him.
I'm curious. I mean, was AJ Preller a Knicks fan at any
I
point?
believe he is.
I think so.
I know he's got like some
basketball
cool
guy.
Knicks stuff.
I would imagine that he has some thoughts on that as well. So we'll get their thoughts as well. Look ahead to the Orioles series.
Yeah.
3 games in Baltimore. As we said, it's going to be hot for the Padres. Purple wants to know, are we going to have Schulte on since the Padres are playing the O's and he works for the Orioles minor league system? Get an update from Mike Schulte on how the Orioles are doing. You want to text him, Paulie?
Why
See
don't
if he
you
wants to
shut up, Purple.
see if he wants to pop in for a few minutes and give us an update.
No, is the answer.
I will do a special shout out here, Ben, as Francisco asked if we would shout out the Sage Creek High, and they're in Carlsbad. They're headed to Toronto today to compete in the Canada Cup of Robotics. They didn't have that when we were kids.
No.
Would
like
you
battle bots? Do you have robots fighting each other, or are they trying to do good things? I don't know.
I've got a nephew that it's into robotics, and he's like a genius. He's a little bit older than Bo, and he is a genius. I mean, he buys his own parts, creates his own stuff, orders the parts, puts them together. I'm blown away.
Your kids are slacking.
They're just jocks, dude. That's what they are. They just want to play sports and beat each other up all day. But I'm looking at this going, dude. So good luck to you guys out there heading to Toronto. Go kick. You say kick some ass in a robotics competition? Yeah, go win it.
Kick some circuits.
All
right, let's check traffic, and then we'll dive into the Manny Machado story from Kevin Acee in the UT about his hitting coach, Teacher Man, and why that may be responsible for Manny's slow start to the season. Get to that next year with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
In San Diego, the 15 is sluggish northbound getting past the 805 and southbound getting to the 805. The 805 northbound a bit slow from the 94 to the 15. I'm Sam Tidrick, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort Starlight Pool Parties. Make Sundays your summer escape at Hamul Casino Resort Starlight Pool Parties. Enjoy rooftop views, live DJs, cocktails, cabanas, and poolside vibes all season long. Enjoy Sunday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Hamul Casino Resort.
I think my first question here about Kevin Acey's piece is I really would like to know, and like overheard the conversation between Kevin and Manny, like
100%.
Manny, you know, I really just want to kind of get into this, like on a one-on-one level, not in a group session, not railing against analytics, just like your real, genuine thoughts. And Manny's first quote in this piece is, "Just say I suck."
Just say I suck. You don't need to say, oh, this, and this. No. It's that my numbers suck is what he said.
That's Manny's first thought on all of this. Just say, I suck. He does not want to blame anybody else for his struggles this season.
Right.
But everybody else is, I think, understandably confused as to how someone who has been defined by his consistency in his career can take such a precipitous drop, especially in batting average, like overnight from one season to the next, to become the lowest qualified batting average hitter in Major League Baseball. And Kevin's piece absolutely illuminates some of the potential reasons behind this.
Yeah, for sure. He says, I'm not making excuses about anything. Working with Shank is not a reason. There were a lot of great things that came out of that, so it's not an excuse. You know, it's the method that they call the HLP method, which is high level pattern. And he wants the swing to look like the Nike swoosh. Does that make sense? So here and here, look, there's aspects of it that make a lot of sense to me. The rear leg pivot and load. The rear leg is something that I don't think I ever had a coach teach me when I was 12 of like, man, you really want to stay in this hip.
They just told us, squash the bug.
Squash the bug, right? Squash the bug. Throw your hands. Hard, like it was just so different. You know, swing down on the ball, all of this. This is different. It's different. Now, there's some stuff that makes a lot of sense. I've found for me, and I found for my kids that I teach, staying in your back leg is always going to be a good thing. Getting coiled, sitting in that hip is your right hip for a right-hander. Stay in that thing. And what he wants, though, he wants the ball to travel, and then he wants a quick flit. And listen, I know that if you're building a resume and you say to everyone, I am a hitting expert, and they say, why? And you say, because Aaron Judge works with me. Okay, that's about as good as you can do. In the modern game, I don't know that there's a better
strong argument that he is the best living hitter of a baseball that exists.
Correct. Like, very strong argument. So I liken it to this. If Aaron Judge would be a great hitter, in my opinion, without him, there was something that made sense to Aaron that worked for his 6'8", 270-pound frame that may not work for Manny Machado, that may not work for some of the other guys that he's worked with. If you go onto like Reddit and you read reviews and you read this guy's actual tweets too, you're like, man, you come off as not a confident teacher. He comes off as a kook. He replied to me last night and sent me videos of Manny and said, you know, he listed out all the stuff and he's clearly not doing what I taught him now. And then he deleted it, which happens a lot. Whatever he did with Manny, it didn't click. And this is what I've read for years about him. It takes a minute to undo what you work on. Now, Manny only went to him for 5 days or something. 5 to 7 days is what I read. And it's taken him months to get back to the Manny we know. And waiting on pitches to flick your wrist and try to get more power or whatever. Does that explain why he's missed almost every fastball? And does that explain, Ben, why he's late on that hanging slider that he has never missed in his career?
And how is he going to fix it? We'll go more into the piece coming up.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, I I don't follow the swing coaches like Woods does, but to me, there's one thing that seems pretty obvious about any good coach that I wonder whether this is what is troubling Manny. We'll talk about it coming up next year. Hour number 2, Ben and Woods on the Fan. Friar Friday. AJ Preller is going to join us in 1 hour on our management report brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking, it's better. And we will talk about Manny Machado and Teacher Man. Now, I think it's absolutely human nature to see someone like Aaron Judge light the league on fire. And,
Yes.
and if you are someone who wants to get better at your craft, go, all right, it's worth looking into what is this guy doing that is working so well? Because, hey, maybe that could help me. I give Manny credit.
Sure, I did too.
For not resting on his laurels. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of fans have been complaining about lately. Is like, Manny doesn't.
He got paid. He doesn't care.
He just get the back of his baseball card.
right.
He has no desire to get better. This is a clear sign that Manny, despite being a future Hall of Famer, even though he's in his 30s, goes, hey, there's always more I can learn and get better as a baseball player. So that's unquestionably a good thing.
It was like a double relief for me. The double relief was oh, you went and explored something new in the offseason to make you better. Ding. Great. That's what you want. The other relief was, oh, you went to Teacher Man. That's why your swing's all jacked up right now. So now I'm like, all right, if we can get him back to where he was.
You were happy just identifying the issue.
100%. And not like, has my guy completely forgotten how to hit a baseball?
Like there was a sense of relief.
There really was. And I the more you read about him, the more you learn about him, man, Aaron Judge is he's an outlier for him.
And this is my point, because I don't know much about Teacher Man, but it sounds like he's got a method that he uses that is what he teaches to hitters to try to unlock something. Fine. But in my mind, the best coaches don't have methods. And
especially with hitting,
or a golf swing, because when Tiger Woods first came up, how many times did people go, I want to swing like Tiger? Butch Harmon, tell me how to swing like Tiger. And the right answer is you can't. You can't. He's a freak. He's
That's the
different.
right answer.
We will work on your swing and come up with something for you, but let's not try to do what Tiger Woods is doing, because the guy is an absolute freak. And I think Aaron Judge, in many ways, is an absolute freak. This works for him, but it doesn't sound like it's really worked for anyone else. I mean, is there some success stories beyond Aaron Judge here?
I think Caleb Durbin is with him, and he got off to a horrible start. Now, I don't know if Caleb went to him recently. I think he did. Kerry Carpenter, who's like a fourth outfielder, is done okay. But I was reading on Reddit last night. There's some guys that he kind of ruined. Scott Kingery, remember Scott Kingery? He goes to Teacher Man and is like, hey, I want to hit like Judge. He's like, oh, you can. I can teach you. And it completely ruined him. Now, again, Aaron Judge is he's a unicorn. And that method may work for him. It's not a one size fits all. And that's the one thing I've learned, man, about coaching, is that every single kid is completely different. I cannot teach every kid to field a ground ball the same way, right? They're just not going to do it. And I don't think they should. Manny is an athlete. Manny has been an elite athlete. He's been one of the most consistent athletes. I think I'm banging my head against the wall because you look at it and you go, why that guy of all guys, right? The Twitter sensation of Richard Schenk, who has really one great client. And I that's what it makes me wrap my head. Again, happy that he's open to exploring and being willing to adapt. But I don't know what credibility, other than Aaron Judge is my guy, would lead Manny to go, yeah, I'm going to go spend a week with him. And, it's just not in baseball. There's just not a one size fits all swing. And you see coaches a lot trying to mold everybody's swing the same. And it just doesn't work that way. You actually need, on a big league team, you probably need about 13 hitting coaches, one for each guy, because they all have their own guys too. That's the other thing. We'll ask AJ this. You're seeing people saying, well, this is clearly an indictment on the Padres. And I don't agree. Because I happen to know hitting coaches that have worked with current Padres outside of the building, and I think there's a lot of guys that do that. There's a lot of there's probably basketball players that have their own shot coach. You know, there's definitely football players and quarterbacks that have their own quarterbacks coach. That's not the guy from their organization. It's pretty standard. I don't know that it should be that way, but it is. And if a guy's comfortable with a guy, I don't care. Come back and hit. As long as you're producing, I don't care who you work with. I really don't.
Manny also, according to Kevin's article, is not stubbornly sticking with his new method. Quote, he's been working feverishly since March to get back to his usual mechanics. But Manny says, the work that I did has messed up my timing and my hand-eye coordination. And it's hard to get back to what he's doing. Now, on a perhaps positive sign, Manny does feel like he's gotten much closer. Like it's very close. He calls it clicking and getting back into where he wants to be. Maybe we've seen some signs of it lately. 3 for 9 in his last series. He did hit some balls hard. He also obviously did not come through and make contact when he really needed to help the Padres win a game on Tuesday night. So he's not all the way back, but he seems to feel confident that he's getting closer to the old mechanics, which puts him back where he was, which is we'd all take that now.
Oh my God, yeah. He's not going to get to those numbers we talked about on the roundtable yesterday. He will not reach the back of the baseball card this year without one of the hottest streaks in baseball history. He may get to 25, 28 homers. He could get that, but he's not going to get close to 275 lifetime batting average or whatever it is. It's going to be really, really tough to do. He's going to have to go full Tony Gwynn for the last.
Craig Elston had like the numbers on Monday.
He was like
Monday. He would have to go
the rest of the season,
like 50 points higher than his career best season
for like
the
4
rest
months
of the way through the year.
Not saying it can't be done. I'm saying it probably won't be done, but man, it just goes to show you, like, I don't know, man. What was it? I'd like to know. I would have liked to have Kev go even a little deeper and be like, so what was it in you that thought this is the offseason, I need to make a change? What was it, the really bad second half he had? Because he did have a bad second half and a bad playoffs. Maybe that's what spurred him to go, I got to do something different, which I respect. I absolutely respect.
It's like both things can be true. You can respect that, and this can also still be frustrating to watch 3 months into the season.
Yeah, and the fact that you haven't been able to unravel these bad habits yet is tough. And again, don't practice bad habits because they stick. They stay with you, and they're really hard to unlearn.
And as we talk about Manny trying to go back to his old swing, he's also going back to his old team this weekend to face the Baltimore Orioles back at Camden Yards. And we'll talk about it with AJ Preller and more as we continue on the program. Right now, though, there was some baseball action last night around the big leagues. Let's get to today's MLB Reach Around. They're doing the Reach Around. They're doing the Reach Around. Everybody's doing the Reach Around. Start in the NL West, where the Los Angeles Dodgers got a home run in the third inning from Shohei Ohtani, but then had to exit the game in the 7th inning with some knee inflammation. I think he was taken off for second, ended up being a foul ball, and they took him out of the game. Right now, Dave Roberts is saying very precautionary. They're even optimistic that he'll be able to play today. The Dodgers are going to be, I believe, in Chicago to take on the White Sox. Battle of first-place teams, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you never know. That's certainly something of concern. Dodgers did beat the Pirates 8-6 to win that series in Pittsburgh. The Diamondbacks continue to scuffle. The Marlins swept them and shut them out yesterday 2-0. 5 pitchers holding Arizona to just 3 hits. They've been kind of a hot and cold team. They've fallen back to 500 again.
Those Marlins, though.
The Marlins now are almost back to 500, and they are the hottest team in June. I think like 9-1 in the month of June, and have been playing some good baseball lately and climbed their way right into the wild card race, into the thick of things. The Cubs beat the Rockies to avoid a sweep. That would have been pretty devastating for the Cubs. Seiya Suzuki hit a grand slam in a 9-3 win at Coors Field. Elsewhere in the NL, Juan Soto broke a 4-4 tie in the 7th inning as the New York Mets avoided a sweep, beating the St. Louis Cardinals 5-4. Padres will be heading to St. Louis as their second stop on this current road trip that begins today. The Texas Rangers get back to 500, finally, with a 4-2 win over the Kansas City Royals to win the series. And right now, even at 500, the Rangers are currently sitting exactly where the Padres are, as the third wild card team in the American League. So there's certainly there's certainly a thought, again, that it's only going to take 83, 84, 85 wins at most to sneak into the playoffs, maybe in both leagues now.
Yeah, potentially.
I think the National League's going to end up being a little bit tougher than that, more like 86, 87, but the American League might just be 83, 84, and I don't see any reason why the Rangers can't think that would be them.
No doubt.
But the Tigers still think they're in it. I mean, they won their third straight series, 11-0 over the Twins.
They're 5.5 out of a wild card right now. There's plenty of time.
They are getting Tarek Skubal back tomorrow after his one rehab start after the surgery on his elbow. He is back already. They've been playing their best baseball of the season, and they've got about 50 games left until the trade deadline to prove that they can keep Tarek Skubal and not really be forced to trade him. But if they keep playing like this, they will absolutely be in it at the trade deadline. And then the Orioles, who the Padres face today, beat the Seattle Mariners 7-5, splitting a 4-game series. Second straight win for the M's. And thank you, M's, for getting Pete Alonso hot the last couple of days. He had a 2-run home run, homered for the second straight day, as he's always done fairly well against the Padres. So he's now got a hot bat as the Padres come to Baltimore tonight.
Orioles remain a very interesting team. They hired Craig Albernaz in the offseason, and he was with I can't remember what organization he came from, but his first time manager. But he'd been a bench coach and stuff, and he's a Boston guy.
He's got a thick accent.
Thick. He's pretty gruff. Now they've got Adley Rutschman. They've got Samuel Basallo, who is a stud. He is a stud. And they're basically putting him on the bench, and they're not playing him. And he's been going round and round with the media. He has something on his hand, and Samuel's like, I want to play through it. I'm ready to play through it. And he's a great hitter, great catcher. And they're not playing him right now. And they really won't give you a clear answer why. So it's an interesting they're just an interesting team to me, Baltimore. I think they were looked at for a couple of years as, this is the model. Look at them building their young core, and then they'll go add pieces when they need to, and then they'll dominate.
Kind of like what the Astros did. They were supposed to be that next
the
team.
next Astros. We talked to AJ Casville about it yesterday, and fans in Baltimore are frustrated. They thought as soon as we get new owners, things are going to turn around. And it really hasn't. It really hasn't happened yet. And they have held on to a lot of prospects. And some of these prospects aren't playing all that well. And they're benching some of their top prospects that could help them win games. So really interesting organization. We'll talk to Josh Lewin about that later. But it's interesting.
Yeah, and they're obviously in it as well. I think they're 2 or 3 games under 500. But as we just said, that's not really a problem right now in the American League. So another big series for both teams starting tonight. One other baseball note from yesterday did have a small trade. The Philadelphia Phillies acquired veteran outfielder Derek Hill from the White Sox. Phillies looking for some outfield help. I think they're looking for guys who can hit right-handers right now. Even though they've been playing well, their offense has, beyond Schwarber and, Harper's had his ups and downs, has never really gotten going, especially at the bottom of the order. Marsh has been good average-wise, but we saw it
he's having a great year.
6 through 9, though, they weren't good at all,
right,
even against the Padres. I know they won all 6 games, but it was because of their stars and their pitching, not because they were just, slugging all the way through their order. They won most of the games 3-2 and 3-0 and 4-2. They weren't killing the Padres with their offense, so they're looking for some help offensively, and they made that trade with the Chicago White Sox yesterday to try to add a little veteran depth to their outfield.
Excellent.
All right, that's our reach around. We will take a timeout. When we come back, we will get to Don't Do This. Had a big story yesterday about it's just the dark arc of Phil Mickelson's life in the last 15 years or so.
Worst kept secret in San Diego golf.
Yeah, it's out now for everybody, and we will talk about that and more coming up next with Ben and Woods on DDT, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, we got a couple of Woods boys in here. Got my 8-year-old son, Bo, in here. He has a giant bottle of
water.
What kind of water?
Eco water.
Eco water, SoCal, baby. That's all we drink in our house, right?
Yeah.
No joke. How much do you love Eco Water SoCal?
So much.
So you talk about it all the time.
Uh-huh.
Drink right out of your faucet.
I drink out of a shower.
Drinks out of his. Look at him. I'm telling you. You guys think.
So got them jugs.
Yeah, we got 2 jugs of Eco Water sitting in here. Eco Water SoCal. You can also get the system put in your home, Some happy kids, happy wife. Liquid Clarity, my friends. Mineral-rich, alkaline water. Balances your pH, fuels your body with filtered luxury. No plastics, no poison. Just satisfaction every single day. It's really funny how much my kids have talked about the EcoWater SoCal system. Usually something that you just kind of forget, it's just our water. They love it. It tastes better than any other water that you will find. Get it in your home by calling 760-350-3338. They've got financing available up to 84 months. It's a no-brainer. 760-350-3338 or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know that Steven and Bo Woods sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since
1925.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixieline Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and
enjoy it.
Got Darren Smith coming up at the bottom of the hour. Bo knows all of our liners, too. First, though, I'll start in golf. Ooh. Remember the late 1990s when a young Tiger Woods was bursting onto the scene. Phil Mickelson was entering his prime, starting to win majors in the 2000s. And it seemed like one of the great rivalries, and it was. But fast forward another, 20 years, and think about the dark turns for both of those two golfers who were at the top of their game for so long. Tiger's
fun rivalry.
Tiger's addiction with pills and his messy divorce and affairs and everything that he's gone through, arrests, DUIs. And just now the litany of things that Phil Mickelson has been connected to. In the latest, reported by Golf Digest yesterday, that Phil Mickelson has been kicked out of the Farms Golf Club in Rancho Santa Fe due to inappropriate contact with a female club employee. And as you said, what's kind of the worst kept secret around North County circles? I had heard some rumors as well.
Same.
People who are at the farm say, yeah, they removed all of the Mickelson memorabilia and everything, and that he is not welcome. And some of the details that came out in Todd Leonard's piece, co-authored it in Golf Digest, said, female employee said a couple months ago in the spring, Phil made some sort of inappropriate touching of her, and she immediately reported it to her bosses. They came out to the back nine and said, we're going to need you to leave the course. They started an investigation, and the result of that investigation was that he is no longer welcome at the club. There's been talk of lawsuits and settlements as well. That was not reported, but certainly is you would expect to be part of the story with Phil Mickelson. This all comes, of course, on the heels of his heel turn to live and taking all the money and dealing with the Saudis and, his quote about the Sultan and the James Khashoggi, they're scary MFers.
Scary MFers. And taking
the
it
connection with gambling and his admitted addiction to gambling and the millions of dollars that he's lost, the insider trading, connection. He didn't go to jail, but his friend Billy Walters did.
Makes my stomach churn thinking about all those scandals going on in your life. At one time.
It's hard because I've always wanted to like Phil. Me
too.
He's clever and can be very charming and engaging with fans and some of the things you really want to see from professional athletes. And I just try to wonder, good family. I've met, sister and really where did this all turn for Phil? And my own personal theory is simply he got to that point that some people get to where they forget that there are rules that apply.
You don't live in reality.
You just don't live in reality anymore.
Every door opens, every sea parts for you.
Somehow it just got into his brain because we just keep seeing these stories.
Yeah.
And, I just hope, I wish it wasn't true, but just everything that I've heard makes me feel like it probably is, and it's just a sad story.
Yeah, man, it's not the only club he's been kicked out of either. It's that's the other thing is, again, the worst kept secret in golf. Right now, and it's the fall from grace though has been it was not a quick fall. He's been careening for many years now.
I continue to feel somewhat vindicated because I have never liked Phil Mickelson. I always thought there was something with him. He's a smug jerk, and I don't care if he's from San Diego, and that's that doesn't give you the ultimate hall pass to be a bad person.
Yep.
And he's a bad person.
Yeah, he's a bad dude. Bad dude, man.
I don't there was always something about him.
I felt kind of the same. And I read his book, and it wasn't his book. It was written about him. It was
Alan Shipnuck's book.
Yeah, which was phenomenal. And you see this very complicated person.
It's two huge different sides.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Which everybody has, everybody has a dark side. Everybody has a little, but this has gone crazy. Saw this story yesterday. I found very interesting. Very curious indeed, Benjamin. Dr. Neil Elatrache, who you have a connection with, was working with Conor McGregor to help heal his leg and allegedly prescribed him performance-enhancing drugs after he broke his leg in 21. He is also the Dodgers.
It sounds so illicit when you say it like that.
Right.
if that's the right treatment, then that's fine. Doctors can do that for patients.
Yeah, but then they can't fight in the UFC on performance-enhancing drugs, right?
That's on Connor, though.
Yes. Well, so he pulled out of the what do they call it? The testing, like the
mandatory
drug test. Yeah, the
drug
mandatory. He
testing
withdrew
UFC
from that,
fighters,
so that he quietly withdrew from the UFC's anti-doping program. He was no longer subject to drug testing, and then mounted his comeback. But the interesting part is I tweeted it yesterday, like, oh, very curious. The Dodgers team doctor. MLB is going to be talking to him. They are going to be investigating. They are going to be investigating this further. So I don't know. Now I saw Dodger fans go, well, Fernando Tatis Jr. worked with him. And I go, yeah, he was also busted for PEDs. So thanks for making my point for me. You nailed it. He was busted for PEDs and had to serve a suspension.
And who is his doctor? What team does his doctor work for?
The Dodgers. Neil Elitrosh. Again, nice to see, though. I mean, look, we all know what's going to happen. Nothing's going to materialize that will get swept under the rug, even if something does happen. The Dodgers are the biggest cash cow in sports right now. You're not going to upset the apple cart, but he'll be questioned and investigated on this. How do you know him?
He's my grandfather's protege.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. He's a good doctor. He's done surgeries on a lot of guys.
Considered the best surgeon possibly going right now.
Yep.
That's where whether you're a Dodger or not, if you've got a bad elbow injury, you're probably going to go see him at some point.
Yeah.
And, it's a doctor's responsibility to give their patient the best treatment possible. It's the athlete's responsibility, if they're going to compete, that they follow the rules of their sport.
Sure.
It's not the doctor is going, this would help you get healed faster.
Are you defending?
I'm not saying. I'm not. Well, again, there's nothing wrong with PEDs at this point. If they are prescribed by a doctor and they can help you health-wise, if you take testosterone.
I do.
That is a PED.
Is it?
It is, absolutely.
I haven't hit a homer in like 5 years.
Sorry, they're not working very well for you, but you would fail MLB's drug testing policy. Is your doctor who prescribed them, should they be investigated? No, it's not. It's not a crime. They're not doing anything wrong.
Professional,
right? But that's not on your doctor to tell. Stephen, are you going to be tested for these performance-enhancing drugs in your job? That is a requirement. No, it's just it's this. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, but it's different with a big leaguer or.
Yeah, no. If he is prescribing them to all the Dodgers, that would be wrong. He's their team doctor. If Conor McGregor wanted that and is his treatment, that's Conor McGregor.
Okay.
All right. Finally, a little do this.
Guy's going to defend his guy, Paulie.
DD mega doo-doo.
He's actually a really nice guy. Met him a couple of times. Yeah.
Right. Well, he's helping the Dodgers win World Series.
Didn't get to this yesterday, but I thought we should give credit to Craig Stammen. Some details came out. We talked about it a couple days ago. The interaction, the confrontation with a fan above the dugout after the loss on Tuesday, when Craig and some of the other coaches were looking up and jawing with a fan. And Dennis Lynn wrote about it in The Athletic and got Craig Stammen's perspective. And he kind of explained how a fan was saying things at Manny Machado that he thought crossed the line. He said Manny, was starting to maybe look back, and, he wanted to make sure Manny just kept going into the clubhouse, turn the other cheek, as Manny will often do. And what Craig thought it was important for him to say something back to the fan in that case, that fan was out of line and he needed to clean it up. And that's essentially what Craig Stammen was doing.
He saw Manny
in that video.
He saw once he saw Manny stop and turn, he was like, all right, I got to jump in here.
Yeah.
I got to defend my guy here, which I thought was admirable. That guy has deactivated his account, nuked it. Lights get a little too bright sometimes. It's not for everyone.
But that is
posting on the internet is not for everyone.
That is something that is going to serve Craig Stammen well in the Padres.
Sure.
clubhouse.
Oh, absolutely. Defending your guys.
Absolutely.
He said he didn't curse. Didn't say one curse word.
He said he talked to him. What did he say in the piece? He's like, I talked to him sternly as if they were my kids.
Like a father.
Yeah.
Who would curse at their kids?
So Craig Stammen.
Say that one more time, Bo.
You.
Never. I never use bad language.
Craig Stammen, Phillip Rivers, and Ben Higgins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the three.
No cursing.
Three
allowed.
guys that have never won a championship. That's how I look at it.
And that's don't and do this for a Friday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
By the way, I feel like we win championships all the time.
That's
around
fair.
Here, so.
That's fair. Probably because of
Don't-
my performance being enhanced.
Don't lump me in with the rest. When we come back, Darren Smith, he has previewed the World Cup extensively.
Dude,
it is now underway.
Who's got it better than Darren Smith right now? Nick's up 3-1 in the final.
Yeah.
The World Cup is here. Doesn't have to go do a 4-hour radio show every day. Who's got it better?
And he's on summer vacation from his regular job
the
at
radio
SDFC.
gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's got it better than D. Smith?
He will join us coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. No performance-enhancing drugs or any drugs necessary for SDFatLoss.com. You can lose the weight without the injections, without that expense, without the reliance on GLP-1s that can cost you $3,000 to $5,000 a year, and you are basically stuck forever if you want to keep the weight off, because when you stop those injections, it's been shown the weight is likely to come back on. But with SDFatLoss.com, you can do a one-time program for 2 months and lose 10 to 20% of your body weight, up to a pound of fat per day. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and it's all based on real food, stuff you're eating normally. I ate a lot of chicken and steak, vegetables during my 2 months, and I lost weight fast. You can as well with no exercise. Find out how the program can work by signing up for a free consultation at SDFatLoss.com. They will coach you. They will support you throughout the process, even through the maintenance phase. That can be one of the toughest phases of weight loss, is then just trying to keep the weight off. I've kept my weight off for 3 years thanks to their great help, great strategies, doctor-developed program with SDFatLoss.com. When we sign up today, take $200 off for their spring special and have a new body before it even really kicks in and gets really hot in San Diego late in the summer by signing up today at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Little dilemma tonight for Padres fans. You'll be 2 hours into the game against the Orioles when the U.S. men's national team will kick off in their World Cup debut. I doubt it's a huge dilemma for our next guest, Darren Smith, in that you're only guaranteed 3 World Cup games every 4 years,
Right.
and there are 162 baseball games in a season. So, Darren, my guess is at 6 o'clock you will be locked into the U.S. men against Paraguay tonight.
Probably accurate. Then again, too, the way some of these Padre games have gone lately, we might only be in the 3rd inning of the Padre game.
True.
So,
That's true.
who knows? Fortunately, though, I have a very loving wife who surprised me many years ago with a man cave before man caves were even a thing. So I do have the option of being available to watch multiple sporting events at the same time. So I will probably have the U.S. on the main television and the Padres will be relegated to a secondary television. But yes, I think I will be mostly locked in if I'm home, and I don't know that it will be. If I am home, I will probably be locked in on the U.S. against Paraguay tonight.
Now, I watched the other night. Somebody, I think it was Marty, tweeted, "Oh my God, somebody check on Darren Smith. There's no way he's alive after that Knicks win." That was one of the most incredible games ever. I watched 80% of it. I was just, it was incredible. And you posted a picture of you and another guy, arms around each other. It looked like you were at a bar watching the game. And I thought immediately, how? I need to watch in like a closet. I can't be in public watching a game like that. How did you do it? Were you paid to be there?
I was not, actually. And you're right. I mean, that's totally out of character for me.
Right?
I'm the same. The bigger the game, and especially now where you felt like due to the emotional trauma that this team has provided over 40 years of my life.
Yes.
I don't know that I need to be around other people.
Yes.
But then again, I don't know that I needed to be alone.
That's fair.
Leah was out of town, and I was facing this dilemma because the Padres played a day game, and we recorded Friar Territory afterwards, and we didn't get done until almost after 5 o'clock. And I have a friend of mine, the guy in the picture, my buddy Luis.
Yeah.
He asked, I just found out that there's a bar in San Diego that's a Knicks bar. Like, I never even knew that this existed until 5 days ago. And it's in Liberty Station. It's a place called Mixers. And he said, do you want to go to Mixers? I said, well, I'm sort of stuck waiting for the Padre game to end. So I don't know that I'm going to make it. I'm all the way down here in Imperial Beach. Like 5 o'clock doesn't sound like it's going to be. He's like, well, I've been here since 3. I've saved the table. And I kind of went back and forth on it. And I went, F it. I'm just going to go. Yep. And got in the car, went up there. And then after like a quarter, I was like, why am I here? It's terrible.
We're down 28.
Yeah. And he and I are sitting there. We're going through we're trying to figure out if there's a formula, right? Like the 2-point conversion chart, when you should go for 2. Like is there a deficit with the amount of time remaining that will maybe gas for the check? How are we going to do this? Are we just going to sit here to the end? And we're like, we'll just stay. He's like, I'm not going to go anywhere. So cool. We're not going to. So we stayed till the end. Totally worth it. Place went bananas. Cool. And it's a true Knicks bar because then we went into the parking lot, lit a car on fire, and jumped the Spurs fans.
beat up somebody in the parking lot.
Yeah, of course. That's what we did after.
They should have a car in that's ready for any, fires. Just that's there. It's set up outside for your needs as a Knicks fan. Paul just showed it again. The tip in by OG Anunoby is cinematic. I mean,
it's unbelievable.
Cinematic.
So cool.
And
it's the complete opposite of how our fandom has been defined. The fandom is often defined. I don't know. I'm sure if you guys remember the play, you remember it probably most because it was Larry David who had that incredible reaction where he almost fell down. And the player was Josh Hart, who missed the layup.
Yep.
And he's a fan favorite. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, this is another one of those moments, isn't it? Where Patrick Ewing misses a layup in 95. Charles Smith can't dunk a basketball in 93. Yep. John Starks goes 2 for 18. And I'm like, this is it. Like this is how this has been defined. This right here. And I felt terrible instantly for Josh Hart because I'm like, how do you miss that? And then he commits a foul and he loses his guy on a rebound. And it's just it's all unraveling. And then to have OG Anunoby do that is just that never happens. That's not us. That's very, especially at that basket, because that's the basket where there's been a lot of heartache over the years. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. You can see how much it just meant to the people that were there. And I mean, that game could be like its own 5-part 30 for 30 series.
No doubt.
It was an incredible from from the owner during the day going on the radio and picking a fight with the mayor and the NYPD. And you're like, this is all falling apart. And then Wu-Tang just saved the day, man. Wu-Tang Clan just saved the day. So
it was incredible.
Credit to them.
How do you, talking to Darren Smith here on Ben and Woods this morning. So, yeah, man, 40 years of fandom, like you said. How do you reverse the curse here in San Diego? I was listening recently to David Ross, Anthony Rizzo, all these guys that are doing a 10-year anniversary podcast. It's like a 10-parter. They're bringing in old guys and how they reverse the curse in Chicago. And to hear these stories, oh, my God, they are just the greatest. And the city, those guys, John Lester, can't walk down the street in Chicago without somebody handing him beers and sausages and hot beef sandwiches. You know what I mean? They'll never pay for another drink here. This organization certainly looking for a way to also reverse that curse and give its city a championship. But it doesn't look great right now as we sit today.
It doesn't, and I've given this some thought because I've always felt like, I know people sometimes are like, oh, I didn't realize you were also, you're a Padre fan because, maybe my approach is a little bit different professionally, but yeah, of course. And I've given this a lot of thought because I've come to the place mentally where I just said, I don't think either one's ever going to win in my lifetime. So I have to be okay with that. I have to be comfortable with that I have picked these teams, that I root for these teams for totally, for different reasons, obviously. And I have to be comfortable that they're not going to come through for me. And I just got to that space mentally. So I'm still, feeling like this is a little bit of a surreal, totally dreamland experience. But I have thought about what is it? What has happened? And I don't know that there was anything that you obviously pointed to other than finally getting some good leadership in there. Finally, he made the right decision to hire a guy named Leon Rose to rebuild the team. They made smart choices. They were patient. They stockpiled. They made some good trades. They signed the right player. They built around the right player in Jalen Brunson. I wasn't sure that firing the coach last year was the right thing to do because, yeah, you could do better, but you could do worse, which they often do. So I have given it thought. And I just think it's consistent buy-in, belief from the fans, which, I still think exists in large capacity in San Diego. You just keep plugging away, man. You just kind of keep doing it.
Chip away.
Just think like I've thought a lot about Peter's line. One day the baseball gods will shine and we'll have a parade. And I've thought about that line a lot, like especially in the last couple of days. Like maybe the basketball gods are finally shining on us. Because like I said, we haven't had those moments. They're the opposite. We're the one. When we went up 2-0 in this series, there was a stat floating around. Teams that have gone up 2-0 on the road in the NBA Finals, 93 Bulls, 95 Houston Rockets, both went on the win. And I'm like, yeah, we could be on the other side of that one.
For sure.
That could be but it just, I don't know. The planets have aligned and the gods have finally, apparently, I mean, I might look ridiculous, but they finally signed on us, and I think you just kind of keep going and you just keep thinking, someday this could happen, I guess. But, you just got to keep moving one foot after the other.
We as sports fans, we want to believe that the smartest decisions, result, the best coaching, the best teamwork is going to result in a championship. But so often, we're seeing it with the Knicks, you need one or two players to get really hot in the playoffs. And Karl Anthony Towns is playing the best basketball of his life right now. The Padres are going to need to get to the playoffs and have Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. go on an incredible tear for a month. It is possible for that to happen, but that's the most important thing. To win in the playoffs in any sport, you need your best players to play at their very best doesn't have to be for a whole season, but it has to be for a good chunk of time. And Knicks are getting that. We'll see if the Padres ever get that. I want to talk a little more World Cup before we go. We got AJ Preller at the top of the hour. Saw you with Julian Delgadio out at the big party at the beach that SDFC is putting on. You can register for free tickets to go out there and watch all the games of the tournament. And I was watching the Mexico game as you were. Felt like an SDFC game with all the red cards being thrown out. Getting flashbacks for that one. Yeah. You did a whole World Cup preview on your podcast. If people want to know more about the tournament, but just give us kind of your thoughts on, the U.S. chances tonight against Paraguay, their chances to get out of the pool, which seems like a very evenly matched pool that they're in, and what that's going to mean going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a top-heavy group for sure, right? Like, there's no heavyweight in there. There's not a Brazil or a Germany or one of those kind of teams that you would perceive to be one of the favorites, but it is pretty balanced. I think people who rank such things said it's like fourth or fifth hardest group out there. So I think the first game's key. And, you see that, especially if you want to get out of the group, getting a result in that first game. Usually the strategy is you try to win at least one, draw one, and then take your chance to see what happens in the third. But I think when you're the host nation, we'll see this again today with Canada, right? This is so unique about this tournament is that you have three host nations. So Mexico gets off to this good start yesterday. Could they have done better? Yeah, I think maybe they're not going to give the win back, but when you're facing a team that's down a man for 30 minutes and then down two men for a handful of minutes, you might want to think about pumping up the goal differential there. But they got the win. That's the most important thing. Pick up the points. Same thing for the U.S. Same thing for Canada today. I mean, it's crazy. They've never won a World Cup game. And they've never won one. So to be able to do it on home soil today is something I'm sure that will be fun to watch. And the same goes for the U.S. tonight. Like, the home field thing, the home soil thing has to matter, because if you're not one of those heavyweights, does it give you a little bit of an extra, a little bit of an extra wind at your back here so that you can not only proceed through the group with Paraguay, with Australia, and then Turkey or Turkey. That is going to be the most difficult one. You really don't want like your knockout stage life to depend on the match, the third match in this group against Turkey. Maybe to win the group, fine, but not to need it to go through. So it's different. It's 48 teams. There's going to be 8 third-place teams that advance out of the group stage. So it's unclear how everybody's strategic approach is going to be. But I do think wanting to impress out of the gate against a team that's annoying and doesn't want to play soccer, and they're going to sit in the low block and make you kind of weave your way through them, and the U.S. has struggled in that, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be an easy one against Paraguay. And they've got a midfielder by the name of Andres Cubas, who maybe people remember, maybe they don't, plays for Vancouver Whitecaps. He was that midfielder who really made a mess of things in the Western Conference Final last year. So they've got some good players. It's gonna be tough. There's gonna be some nerves, but I think you have to hope, like maybe for the first time in a long time, the U.S. will actually feel like it has a home field advantage in the United States.
Darren, really appreciate it. You got me thinking, if there's a Knicks bar named Mixers in San Diego, I need to open a Sixers bar named Mix right next door.
Right. Yeah, I mean, go for it, Benny. That's right there. So
Friday, man.
Get it done. I'll invest in that.
All right, Darren, take care, and good luck to your Knicks tomorrow night in Game 5 in San Antonio, trying to wrap up the series on the road.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. D.
Smith, SDFC, Friar Territory podcast, and special guest on the Fox 5 broadcast yesterday with Julian Delgado.
Party he was at looked insane.
And that's going on all 39 days of the tournament. You do have to register in advance, but I think tickets are free, and you can go out watch it outdoors on the beach. With the SDFC watch party out there.
Darren's got me hyped for this game tonight now at 6. Hopefully the Padres are up 12-1 against the Orioles, and I can just casually cruise over and watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tense. You get one chance every 4 years.
Oh, my gosh, man.
And if you blow it, it really defines you for years.
For years, yeah. Terrible.
So tough. So much pressure on the World Cup. But that's why people love it.
That's why they love it.
And why it's such a big event.
That's why people skip work.
Exactly.
To go out and watch the games. Yeah.
And they're all huge. So first game tonight against Paraguay, 6 o'clock is the kickoff. All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, our Friar Friday guest is going to be the president of baseball operations, general manager AJ Preller will join us next year with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we are halfway home on a Friday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. We'll get right to it. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul. That's Ben. Get right to the president of baseball operations.
It's a Friar Friday. It is time for our management report. It is brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It is better. And we are joined by AJ Preller here on 97.3, The Fan. And Paulie just asked, are you in Baltimore with the team? And he gave the thumbs up. I'm a little surprised because I do know the San Antonio Missions are at home this weekend. Against Frisco. And, you could go watch Ethan Salas. And then, tomorrow night, if you wanted to go see the New York Knicks as a New York native try to clinch a championship in San Antonio, AJ, certainly wouldn't be, out of the realm of possibility that you might find a way to get a ticket and into the building.
Yeah, it would be, I don't know, it'd be a great thing to get down there and see the series. I'm actually not a huge Knicks fan.
You're not, even though you grew up in New York.
From New York and like basketball, but I am rooting for this group, and it's been a great series and really great playoffs with, just watching, Wembayama and his maturation and, the Spurs and OKC and now this Knicks series. So it's been pretty cool, and have a lot of people back in New York that are calling and are super excited. So see what happens.
Now, how much would, like, if you were photographed at the game and then it gets out on social media, like, oh, cool, worst offense in baseball, and our GM's at a basketball game. Like, you think about these things. You have to now. I mean, it's crazy. We laughed last week about the piece that came out, Gavin Sheets, like, hey, he'll have a beer with his teammates in the clubhouse. I go, just wait till somebody's like, maybe they should be hitting more instead of drinking, AJ. I mean, everyone's searching for excuses or reasons behind the poor offense this year. From your perspective, your chair, kind of what are you seeing from the guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's kind of been that, both months. I think the first month, getting some big hits, and even though the offense wasn't really clicking, we were finding ways to win games and, really performing well in the big spot. And that got us off to a good start and kind of at least put us in a position now where, where the rest of the season, have a chance to go make the playoffs. And then this month, really haven't, we haven't really clicked at all really on any cylinder, in terms of, the big spot, clutch moments. And then, all year long, we just have underperformed as an offense, like overall. So it's, it's obviously top of mind for everybody. It's, something that, we know that, if we're going to get to where we want to get to and get back to the playoffs in October, we've got to get a lot better. Again, like I think you see from everybody, there's no talk here about like, hey, this is just part of baseball, or this is, back with the baseball card. We know we've got to get better as a group offensively overall, whether that's personnel, whether that's, mindset, whether that's approach. It's a daily conversation for our group. And, I think we saw a little bit better here over the last homestand, and in the last few days, we started swinging the bats better. We understand that's what we're going to have to do if we want to get back to October.
AJ, kind of just explain your thoughts on the recent moves, obviously making some roster changes with Nick Castellanos being let go, bringing up some guys from the minor leagues. And of course, Samad Taylor's had especially a big impact in his first week or so on the team, and just kind of what you're trying to look for with some new guys on the team.
Yeah. I mean, I think again, when things we're obviously not performing at the clip that we're used to or want to perform at. So I think that leaves us to be open to see what else is out there and other guys in our own system. And I think, part of that's injury, and then a bigger part of that is, just trying to add some athleticism, try to do some things a different way. And that's where like Taylor and Bowen coming up, Will Wagner, this last week, I think we understand, getting a left-handed bat and Will that, can give us a little different look and quality ABs. And then, what Samad and Bowen brought, to us with the ability to, move the baseball, play fast, play good defense. And then obviously Samad got some huge hits on his homestand. And those guys, they work really hard. They were doing well in AAA when we called down to Pete Zamore and his staff. They kept bringing up all three of those names as guys that they think can help us. And again, like we're not going to hesitate if we don't feel like we're getting what we need at the big league level from the overall offense. We're going to look at some ways to jumpstart it, and those guys did a good job here the last few days of doing that, understanding their role, and helping to get us into a better spot to score some more runs.
Talking to AJ Preller here on Ben and Woods this morning. I have to ask you about the most recent article that dropped in the UT about Manny Machado and his offseason. And I don't know how you felt for somebody that has loved Manny since he's been here, one of the most consistent players in baseball. To watch kind of him struggle as badly as he has for as long as he has. I was relieved to hear, you went to an outside hitting coach that might have messed you up for a while. What is kind of your policy on your guys working with outside hitting coaches? I know it's pretty common, but I just kind of wanted to hear from you what you think about not him in particular, but just kind of your guys doing that in the offseason or at other times.
Yeah, we haven't had a ton of that, honestly. I mean, I hear that from other GMs or other teams in the game and other hitting programs where that's a real big factor where, guys like similar going to a shot doctor or in golf, you go to, your swing coach. We haven't had a ton of that over the years here, honestly. I mean, I think our group has kind of stuck with our players have stuck with the, with the hitting coaches that we have in our system. But, I think the biggest thing for us is like if a player wants to do it, hopefully there's communication back and forth, and there was in the case of Manny, and I think in for Manny, it's like you mentioned, he's obviously been one of the most consistent players in baseball. That's why he's on a track to Cooperstown. But seeing somebody that wants to improve and just wants to continue to get better, and is there another step here? And then I think having that communication with your hitting group to make sure that, hey, we're not doing something that we feel like might be something that doesn't quite get you on that track and doesn't improve. So, it's kind of, again, you got to listen to the players. You got to have a back and forth. And, there's been times where we've told guys, we don't really think that whether it's a development center, like a training program for the off season, from a conditioning standpoint, that may not be the best plan for you. We've had some guys that have gone to Driveline, had some guys that have, that go to Maven. I think it's just like having that communication and then making sure that we're all on the same page. That's what we try to do as an organization. And then, hopefully just best information wins, and hopefully it results in performance. And if it doesn't, then we go back and make some adjustments.
And I asked you a few weeks ago, it's hard, when you're slumping to not worry about results and focus on the process. And I asked you, are you satisfied with the process now? And you were at the time. When it comes to what's your assessment right now of the job that Steven Souza Jr. and the rest of his staff are doing with this offense? Obviously, the numbers aren't where you need them to be, but you mentioned personnel earlier. Is it the right personnel for the San Diego Padres right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it is a lot of the focus on what we're doing from a prep standpoint, the communication. I think the biggest thing we've been focused on with our group, and I think for Steven and the hitting group, is just providing clarity and giving things as clear as possible. And I think what we've tried to do over the last, again, not reacting to 30 days. I think when we talked, a few weeks ago, that's probably a little too early in the season. We've kind of talked about that at different times. It's like, hey, what's too early? What's too much? That's always kind of the dance in baseball. I think now we've got like a healthy enough sample size to kind of look back and be like, all right, we need to go ahead and make a few adjustments on what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I think we come back to all the time of, just being like really clear in our communication, finding out from our players what's working in their mind, finding out from our staff what's working, and then, just trying to simplify things in terms of being really clear about what the game calls for and what individual players call for. So I think the challenge, again, like on the offensive end, is it's not like a, one philosophy or one issue or one solution for the entire team. You can go into a matchup and go, man, like, why are they chasing this pitch? Or why do we swing here? Or, get on third base in less than two. How do you get the offense tuned up from that standpoint? So I think the challenge that we've got to get right is there's individual adjustments that need to be made, and having those conversations, and also that group mindset that Craig and Steven are responsible for, and making sure we get that right. And I think in both cases, it's been like really specific on the individuals, things that need to be worked on, and having good game plans in place for that. And then, the group mindset is being pretty simple there. And I think our messaging has just gotten a little more clear over the last, week, 10 days, being pretty simple with the group and some of the new players that are here. And I think that's what we focused on with Steven and his team. And again, it's not just Steven. We've had hitting coaches here that have a lot of history with Jackson and Fernando and Manny specifically, and have done some really good work with those guys. And those guys have had, they've had a lot of results. And we just got to get back to that and get to a spot where we're scoring more runs and put more pressure and be more consistent with our offensive ability.
Injury is always a big issue for teams. Losing Ramon Laureano is clearly a huge blow. Can you give us an update, though, on Jake and, Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove and how they're doing and what your timeline is for potential returns for some of your key players?
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, every team deals with it these days in all sports, really, and definitely in baseball. Unfortunately, we've gotten used to it where, you kind of start the year and, you're hey, we're going to be out a bunch of these players on the offensive end at some point, or some of the pitchers, and kind of how do you handle it as an organization? That's a big part of getting to a playoff run. I think, in terms of the updates, with Crony, he got back to doing baseball activities, been on the field, he's been running and swinging and feeling better overall, but still not at a point yet where he's ready to progress to live at bats. And hopefully we start seeing that more here in the next week or so. But on the concussions, it's just it's a serious deal, and it's also something that you've got to you just gotta take case by case, and each guy's a little bit different. So it's good to see Crony back on the field, back swinging a bat and getting closer. But it's not like, hey, over the course of the next few days he'll be back on this road trip where we're probably not feeling that. With Joe and Nick, those guys are starting to play catch and starting to progress, and we've kind of always looked at it as it was going to be more July for those guys, and that's the time frame that they're on. So I think we'll start to know more when they ramp up past, from the point of playing catch and now they get on the mound. And we've seen this with guys in the past that until they really get on the mound are able to, to throw a ball 90 plus miles an hour in a game type situation and then come back and do it again in 5 days. Those guys are feeling well and doing well and all the testing that we put them through and in this initial stage of throwing. But you got to really see those guys when they get on the mound and how they bounce back from that. And others like Campy, Herman Marquez, Matt Waldron, they're all starting to get back on the field, rehab, live VPs. So, I think those guys have a chance to come back here sooner rather than later. So it's, that's kind of the nature of it here. So in pro sports and in baseball right now is got to deal with a lot of injuries. And, again, I think for all of those guys, there's an expectation they'll be back, this season, hopefully sooner rather than later, but they're all in some different time frames.
So, AJ, for you, how hard would it be for you to pivot at the trade deadline if things don't turn around, right? And, you guys are on a run now, looking at the standings, looking at teams that are on the rise, teams that are scuffling right now. I know we have a lot of time till we get there, almost 2 months. But if things don't turn around, how hard would it be for you to pivot and just kind of hold or sell at the deadline? Because that's not something that you've had to do in a while. And is that a feeling that the guys in the clubhouse feel like we better get it together if we want to get some help here at the deadline and try to go on a run?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're open. I think you want to evaluate your team and be realistic to kind of where things are at. And again, I think what we've seen so far is that the National League is going to be very, very competitive. It's been that way really over the last 5+ years, but definitely in the last 2 seasons. And I think no different this year. And it feels like even more teams obviously are in it. And you see the ups and downs of some teams so far, us included here in this first half. And it feels like it's going to be a very, very competitive National League. It doesn't feel like, again, I think most things really don't get started until after July. So I've seen some of the conversation about, hey, we're, to me, the trade deadline. I think it's still kind of teams are evaluating. Everything's going to be pretty close. You look at the American League and, you can be 6-7 under and under 500 in the American League, but only 2-3 games out of a wild card. So teams, they're not really looking to sell or do anything or kind of announce themselves as buyers or sellers right now. So I think basically for us, it's kind of continue to look at ways to get better as a group internally. There may be some small moves that start to be made. Some of the things that we did here this past week in terms of looking at AAA or some small trades that could be there. But I think overall for us, it's get to July, and then you'll kind of have a better feel of where we're at. And, at that point in time, you go ahead and make moves that you feel like, that fit where we're at as a team and organization, and go from there. And hopefully it's a team that continues to be competitive, and we're looking to add to it here in a month or so.
AJ, really appreciate it. Good luck to the team in Baltimore. Try not to melt. It seems like it's a bit hot and sticky there this weekend, and hopefully the road trip goes well for the club.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
AJ Preller, President of Baseball Operations, General Manager for Padres, on our SDCCU Management Report. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking. It is better. Well, I learned something. Not really a Knicks fan, even though he grew up in New York City as a basketball guy, but is cheering for this group in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I learned something too. I mean, it was interesting to me when he mentioned, hey, personnel. Like I feel like it's time to go, right? If you're the San Diego Padres, I feel like the messaging is like, all right, man, 3 months, let's not let this thing carry on. June needs to be, they need to figure out a way to play better baseball right now. And
it's
also
different though than 2023, because it was also time to go.
Yeah, we heard that a lot.
They kept saying it and they never did.
Yeah.
But that team didn't have the same issues as this one.
No.
Hitting is not, it's not something you just decide to do one
Let's
day.
just start hitting better. I wish it was that easy.
Maybe keeping your head in the game, let's put the pedal to the metal in terms of us. Let's be sharp. Let's clean up our defense. You can kind of mentally decide to do that. You can't really mentally just say, today I'm going to start hitting.
Yeah, for sure. No, if it were that easy, everybody would do it.
Right.
Certainly. But, again, you can kind of feel it, hear it in his voice. It's time. It's time to get this thing going. We cannot finish, dead last in every offensive category. And, when he mentions personnel, that to me says, yeah, and we will have to change the personnel if it doesn't work. I don't think that's too big of a reach to think that. But yeah, these guys got to know, man. Everyone's playing for their job. A lot of guys aren't, but many guys are playing for their jobs. And I think a lot of coaches are coaching for their jobs right now.
All right, when we come back, we'll play some Take on Woods. Last game of the week. It's our TV category is all we've got left. So if you think a little about television and want to try to qualify for our grand prize staycation and $250 food and beverage credit at the Town and Country, call now 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. More Ben and Woods coming up, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, though, my friends, if you are the owner of a business, the CFO of a business, or even an HR manager, it can be too complex to buy an insurance policy online. Here's what happens often. You sign your policy, and then for some brokers, that'll be the finish line for you. Your handshake, your commission, it's all done. You may not hear from them again until, hey, it's next year, time to renew. But your business is running all year long, and there are gaps in it, and there is risk involved. SuperSure Insurance, that's who you need to talk to today. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, year-round support for you and your team. They've got tools like the fine print facts, translate your current policy into plain English so you can see what's covered and what's not. They make it very simple. Plus a business value calculator. You can estimate what your business is worth so you know what needs protecting. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform. All your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com, supersure.com, paid for by SuperSure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Wanted to know, what about Bo's question? Bo, did you not have a question for Padres president of baseball operations, AJ Preller?
No, not really.
All right, that's my guy. What do you ask him?
I don't know. I was struggling myself
That
to come
happens.
up with really good questions this week.
The funny thing is somebody made the point earlier. He's like, are you holding AJ's family hostage because you've had him on so much this year? And I go, you're right.
Yeah, it's like the fourth or fifth time this season, I think.
It's like I used to talk to him twice a year, you know.
Maybe he just enjoys it and is
maybe he
requesting
loves
to
it.
come on with
you
us
never
now.
know. That's what my ideal is that he's like, guy, I'd love to go on to Ben and Woods. If you could get me on, that'd be great.
You.
Yeah. You think
Got
so?
him on 3 times.
Three
That was
times?
the third time this season.
Third time?
Even spring training too?
No, I mean,
Plus spring
no,
training.
spring
Fourth,
training. And then
Fourth.
total.
Okay.
we had him on mid-April, mid-May, and here we are in mid-June.
Mid-June.
Feels
All
like
right.
a
Well,
lot.
let's expect a mid-July conversation
100%.
with AJ Preller,
All
which
right.
is really every other, because every other week we have Craig Stammen on.
Yep.
And then every other week we have someone from the front office on, which means AJ's kind of alternated with someone else. We had Buddy Black 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, love Buddy Black.
Special assistant to AJ. That was fun as well. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball is back, so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for a free month of pool service. Got one category left this week. We got a contestant on the line. It is time to take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. We got Dustin as our contestant today. Hi, Dustin.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. All right, we've only got one TV category left. It is the Cars, the Star. You're going to get 5 questions about TV shows that featured iconic vehicles. 60 seconds. If you beat or tie Woods, you will qualify for our grand prize staycation at the Town and Country. Check out their pools, their water slide, and rates starting at $199 per night for fan listeners at towncountry.com/thefan to book now. Plus, it's a $250 food and beverage credit as well. So you think you know TV, Dustin?
I hope so.
All right, let's. You get 60 seconds. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it. First question's our 2-second TV theme song. Paulie will play you the TV theme song you need to identify the show. You ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. The car is the star. TV shows that featured iconic vehicles. Your time begins when Paul plays our 2-second TV theme song. Good luck, Dustin. Let's take on Woods.
Knight Rider.
Correct. Cousins Bo and Luke outwitted Boss Hogg and outran Sheriff Roscoe.
Hazard.
Correct. Meddling kids unmasked the villain while riding around in their van called the Mystery Machine. In which cartoon classic?
Scooby-Doo.
Correct. Which 1980 CBS drama featured a red Ferrari GTS with a license plate
Magnum
reading?
PI.
Correct. Michael Paul Glazier and David Soul played police detectives tearing around Southern California in their striped tomato
Yeah.
1975 Gran Torino in which 70s cop series?
Shoot. Dang it.
Michael Paul Glazier and David Soul play police detectives tearing around Southern California in their striped tomato 1975 Gran Torino in which 70s cop series?
I know it's not Chip. I know they made a movie about it.
You know it.
I know it. God, Ben Stiller's in it.
Yep. Starsky and Hutch. But you got four. You got four. Might be good enough. Let's bring Woods back in. TV's not his best category, so Dustin's score is locked in. Again, we're playing TV today. I don't think you need the category. You'll get it as we go along. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when we play our TV theme song. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Dustin.
Knight Rider.
Correct. Cousins Bo and Luke outwitted Boss Hogg and outran Sheriff.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Correct. Meddling kids unmasked the villain while riding around in their van called the Mystery Machine. In which cartoon classic?
Scooby-Doo.
Correct. Which 1980 CBS drama featured a red Ferrari GTS with the license plate reading Robin 1?
Magnum PI.
Correct. Michael Paul Glazier and David Soul played police detectives tearing around Southern California in their striped tomato 1975 Gran Torino in which 70s cop
Starsky
series?
and Hutch.
Wow. And you won it 5-4 on Starsky and Hutch. Nicely done. The Car's the Star was that TV category.
The Car's the Star. Yeah.
Very well done, both of you. But Dustin, sorry, couldn't give it to you today. Woods was too good.
Yeah,
you had a
feels
good week
good.
this week.
I did. Feels real good.
All right, we'll have 3 new categories next week, plus a real or fake when we come back on Monday.
Sounds good.
Try to qualify more listeners for the staycation. But when we come back, old friend alert. It's been a while. Josh Lewin, who has joined the Baltimore Orioles broadcast team this summer. We are going to chat with the former Chargers voice, UCLA voice. One of our favorite broadcasters will join us coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Speaking of cars, you can hop in your car from downtown, head down the 5 freeway south, and within 7 minutes, you're getting off at East Street and you're pulling in to 7 Mile Casino, San Diego's closest and best card room.
Yes, sir. Walk right in the door and smack dab into a California-style blackjack table. Off to the right, you've got your Texas Hold'em area. You've got your Pai Gow and Baccarat around the kind of bar area. They got a beautiful bar area. They got a brilliant patio outside. You can sit out there, relax, have a beer. It's a great place. Been telling you about it for years. Give it a shot if you haven't already.
Sammy's has the 24/7 players menu, but they also have the weekend brunch that was voted best in the South County. You can enjoy it tomorrow and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check it out and sit down at one of the great tables, friendly dealers, great staff, comfortable chairs. No smoke is what's said. It's just a great spot. If you love cards, check it out today at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Better Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Just had AJ Preller joining us on a Friday. Now we can take a look at the opponent because just found out recently that Josh Lewin has joined the Baltimore Orioles broadcast team this year. And I also found out that this is actually a bit of a homecoming, that Josh started his broadcasting career in the Orioles minor league organization. And we used to love having Josh on. Of course, he calls UCLA Athletics, former voice of the San Diego Chargers. And he joins us right now on 97.3 The Fan. Josh, great to have you back on Ben and Woods. Good morning.
It is great to talk to you guys. And yeah, the whole design, as you guys probably remember, was when I left the Mets, I was going to try to work something out with the Padres, and it never did come to fruition, and went off to Boston for a year, and then COVID hit, and I've just been kind of hanging out in Solana Beach during the summers ever since. So the Orioles were kind enough to recognize my free agent status, and it's kind of, I feel like one of those pictures brought back from like 4 years in Korea or whatever. Worked on a new pitch and came back, and I'm not exactly lighting it up, but that's okay. I'm having fun, and so I wouldn't say it's great to get out of the perfect weather of San Diego for 94 and humid here in Baltimore all the time, but I do love Baltimore. This is a great, great organization, a great place to spend time, great ballpark, all of it. So yeah, no complaints, and it'll be fun to go up against the Pods this weekend.
I mean, Josh was my guy in Texas. As a baseball fan, I was not a Rangers fan, but I watched every Ranger game because I love baseball. And Josh Lewin was my guy for like 10 years. And I had a question, and I was, perusing your bio last night, and please don't be offended by this, but I was reading your bio and I go, pound for pound, he's like in my top 2 or 3 announcers of all time. Why do you think you've bounced around as much as you have? Because I look at you and go, somebody should have snagged him and said, all right, man, 30 years, let's go and finish, whenever you're ready to hang him up.
It does look like I have the resume of a professional hobo, doesn't it?
Or a radio host.
Yeah, well, but it's funny. I mean, especially in Baltimore, where it's all about Cal and it's all about Brooks Robinson and longevity, right? That is what I aspired to be, and I just I took a twisting path. The network baseball came calling, and I got kind of sidetracked by that siren song for a while, and probably just should have stayed here in Baltimore for 30 years. But could have said the same about Detroit when I went there. I really loved my time there. But again, had a nice offer to go somewhere else where my wife at the time really wanted to end up. It was where she was from. So spent those 10 years, like you said, in Texas, and no regrets because that's where my kids grew up and all that. And but yeah, during that time, that's when the Chargers came calling, and that was a tremendous, whatever that was, 12 or 13 years doing that commute from Dallas to San Diego and back. So yeah, most of this was by my own volition. Was just getting up, and I think maybe assuming grass was greener somewhere else. Sure. The only place where it was on me was Nolan Ryan and I did not see eye to eye those last couple of years in Texas, and since there is no Josh Lewin Expressway, there is a Nolan Ryan Expressway that you drive to get to the ballpark. That was a pretty easy call. It's like I got to go do something else. So off to the Mets, where you can make a Seinfeld reference and not get pilloried for it. That was a better fit for me. And then left New York with designs on just making San Diego my full-time home. And then funny things happen, right? The team moved to LA. I think it was 12 days after we closed on the condo.
Unreal.
On the beach. Yeah, you can't make that stuff up. But UCLA has been a godsend. I mean, that's been just such a fun gig. And I miss baseball is what it comes down to. I mean, like I said, I went from 2020 until this summer without it in my life, and it's really all I've done every spring and summer since I was a teenager. So I appreciate the kind words, but I'm not a top 2 or 3 guy.
Yes, you are.
Like a top 50 or 60 guy. I mean, Orsillo and Agler and those guys are fronted. They're better than I am. But it's been a cool ride, and Baltimore is a very accepting, welcome home kind of gig. So, but it's weird because I watch the Padres. I go to games because still living in Solana Beach as I do. So it is weird when the two worlds collide as they are this weekend.
So what's it pound for pound? And we love Don and Mud, but pound for pound, you've got them absolutely beat.
Oh yeah, they're way bigger than you.
You're like half the size.
That's
of those
right.
guys,
they're way bigger than you. Way bigger than you. Yeah, it's
all subjective anyway. I mean, there's people that hated my Chargers stuff, so it's fine. I like doing what I'm doing, and you guys know this being in radio. The old line that the guy says if everybody liked the same thing, that it'd all be after your grandma.
That's right.
Grandpa, right? So you just have to let people choose as they please and do as they do, and I think stay true to yourself. So this is a great fit. It's a fun booth. I mean, Jim Palmer does a lot of the games, and he's just hilarious to be around, and obviously a bastion of wisdom, and Ben McDonald and guys like that. So great gig, but interesting series. I'm sure you guys probably want to talk some actual ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, the way I look at it is you've got a Padres team that's been kind of a dormant volcano, and then at some point you guys will figure it out. From an Orioles standpoint, I hope it's not this weekend, but there's so much Baltimore coming back here from Manny, who obviously broke out as an Oriole, when he was 20 years old, to Jackson Merrill being from here, to Gavin Sheets being from here. So, you'll look in that lineup tonight, it could be 3 out of 9 guys are really more identified with Baltimore around here than San Diego. So, to me, that's really interesting. And the O's are just so up and down. They just took 2 from Seattle, but only after Seattle took 2 from them. So they've ridden the same kind of up and down bungee cord here, I guess, that the Pods have all year, and they smashed together for a very hot and humid weekend.
Talking to Josh Lewin here on Ben and Woods, and the Orioles are such an interesting organization from afar for us because they looked like they were on a meteoric rise with all the talent, and I thought this could be a powerhouse for a decade in the American League. And I mean, they still have a lot of that talent, but it hasn't necessarily materialized. They added Pete Alonso this year. Not doing poorly, but hasn't really moved the needle in terms of wins and losses. What do you kind of see from the O's?
Yeah, it's funny to think it was 7 years ago the whole Scott Boras hot talent lava thing was put on the pods, and I think that's an exact thing that you could copy and paste for the Orioles. There still is the hot talent lava all over this place, but yeah, it hasn't quite clicked yet. I mean, Alonso's starting to hit his stride, but Gunnar Henderson has not been a superstar this year. He's got an OPS of less than 700 right now. He usually gets hot in June though, so I mean that's probably gonna get moving pretty soon. They're just I think they've got the pieces, guys. It just hasn't jigsawed together quite yet. So one of these times, one of these little patches here, I really do think they're going to win 9 of 11, and in the American League. I mean, shoot, that puts you in the playoffs right freaking now because, as of this moment, you could be a game under 500 and in the playoffs in the American League. So they don't have to get sustainably hot. They just have to get hot enough to get back to where I think they were always going to be, which is kind of like an 85-ish win team this year, 87-ish win team that hopefully has it together in October and makes some noise.
Yeah, I agree. And what are your thoughts? So I was following kind of along. We love this rookie that you have, the rookie catcher. Is it Basalo? It's Basalo, right?
Basayo.
Okay. So my son is here. He's 8 years old. We collect baseball cards. We've been on Samuel for a while. And he's a good player. I mean, he's a really good player, got a lot of talent. And I was watching kind of the back and forth between reporters with Craig Albernaz about why they're not playing him and they're doing what's best for him. And, what are your kind of thoughts on how they're currently, I guess, running the team? You still want to win ball games, and in the everyday fan's mind, it's great. I'm going to get my best, 9 out there as much as I can, and they haven't done that really this year.
Well, it's funny that we're talking. I'll put it in Padres terms for the old timers that remember Sandy Alomar Jr. And what a nice problem when it was Benito Santiago and Sandy for a hot minute. And the Orioles have that with Adley Rutschman and Basayo. It's like, how many teams have too many good young catchers?
Right.
It's not a thing. But the Padres had that a generation ago. The Orioles have that now. And the thing about Sandy was, and continued to be, he's a big freaking dude. He was 6'5", and Basayo is bigger than that, and possibly still growing because he's only 21 years old. If you look at him standing next to the manager, Craig Albernaz, who's been great, by the way, it's impossible to think they played the same position professionally because Albie's like my height and Basayo looks like Sean Merriman. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy, but they both are catchers. So I think a lot of it is just the realization that, look, it's a long, hot summer in Baltimore. Let's make sure he's got his juice, but also it's a big body that just not only can wear down, but can absorb a lot of foul balls or, collisions. I mean, there's just so much actual body there that you do want to protect it. And I think that line between protection and just putting him completely in bubble wrap and putting him on a shelf, that's what has people kind of in debate right now. I think they're doing it just fine. I mean, if this guy plays, let's say 125 games this year and he's healthy in pretty much every single one of them, for a catcher, I'll take that, especially if Adley Rutschman's your other option. And they're just kind of floating back and forth, catcher / DH, kind of trading off. And if you smash their numbers together, it adds up to one amazing all-star catcher. You're talking like 17, 18 home runs and 60 runs batted in, and they both play good defense. So your 8-year-old is on the mark. It's a very good, exciting young player,
as he usually is.
Josh, do you get to cross paths with San Diegan and former Ben and Woods weekly guest Adam Jones much since he rejoined the organization?
In spring training, I had the pleasure of getting reacquainted with Adam. I wasn't down there much because UCLA has this nasty habit of playing deep into March, which is a good thing, but kind of compromises spring training. So I wasn't at spring training much, but Adam was, and he's great. I mean, he's still the same guy. He's still proudly San Diego to this day. And they love him in Baltimore. I mean, he can't do anything wrong in the minds of Orioles fans. He was a great player here.
Well, Josh, really appreciate it. It's great to catch up with you, and I'm glad that you've got a home again in Baltimore for baseball, and of course, not that far away from college football season again. You'll be back calling Bruins games, so good to catch up with you, man.
Awesome to talk to you guys anytime.
Thanks, Josh.
I'd say go O's and hopefully not piss you off.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, we understand how that works.
We know how it works.
Josh Lewin here with us on 97.3 The Fan. Guy gets to work with Jim Palmer, which was you and I growing up a little young to really watch Jim Palmer's pitching prime, but I certainly remember him in his underwear a ton in those commercials that he did. What was he did? Like he did the briefs commercials, like all over the place.
Save that.
Guy spent like my childhood on television in his underwear,
laid out on like this with his big hairy chest.
Exactly.
And like I'm just hog.
There was no manscaping back then.
Drop trowel, hog out, just laid there. Yeah. You flip through a magazine.
Absolutely. Every time.
Like,
I'm not crazy, right?
No, you're not crazy.
When I think Jim Palmer, I think of that ad. He's in his underwear.
Yeah. Yeah. Underwear model.
Yeah.
Jim Palmer. Guy used to crush back in the day. Crush. Handsome dude. Right?
But I certainly remember him in his underwear.
Perfect. That was what I needed, Paulie. Thank you.
I imagine they picked him for a reason.
Yes.
Handsome fellow. You know,
my phone's been silent
for underwear modeling.
Yes, it really has been.
Not gotten a lot of offers in that department.
If you were offered, let's say that they came up with a new brand of a Husky. I think there was a brand Husky, but they're like, hey, we would like you guys to be our models. Could you even do it? Would you even do it?
I mean, we need a team of stylists.
You would not look bad with your legs.
I need to get to a tanning salon to even out some of the golf tan.
But you'd look pretty good.
I mean, need good lighting for sure.
Ben & Woods
angles,
Ben & Woods
shadows,
underwear shoot
angles. Yeah, I mean,
coming up soon.
I don't
Sexy 2027 calendar.
Calendar
this
for
can't
charity.
Be a DIY underwear shoot. We need
pros.
We need real good makeup people. Grooming, everything before we think. And 2 or 3 weeks. I get back on a little SDFatloss.com,
Yeah.
just a little extra.
Yeah, I get it.
10, 15 would be nice before we head toward the underwear modeling career.
We're Ben & Woods for Husky underwear. Man, he was a constant. It was Jockey, I believe.
Jockey, yeah.
Was it Jockey?
I think it was Jockey. I think you're right.
Yeah,
Jim
he
Palmer.
had no problem just pouching it out, dude, for everyone all the time.
So comfortable.
Yeah,
but I
at all.
certainly remember him in his underwear.
Yeah, indeed. He's right.
All right, let's get to a timeout, top of the hour. When we come back, we've got 1 hour to go. Paulie's got a round of report, get some headlines. We also have one more pair of tickets to give away to that KSON Country Fest at Gallagher Square. All coming up with Ben & Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
What's
Fine.
What's your underwear brand again? We were just talking about this off the air.
Well, I see the chat thinks that I am buying Kirkland signature underwear.
Do they
I'm not.
have that?
Yeah, I think they do. I do buy my underwear mostly at Costco. I just don't do the Kirkland brand. I have been alternating between the Puma and the 32 degrees. So you got the boxer briefs and the boxers.
The thought of him taking his pants off and that little Puma across your
the
little waistband. Yeah. Puma. What a forgotten brand Puma has been.
Not at Costco. They're well remembered at Costco. Shoes. I got some Puma shoes there as well.
Look at you.
Pumas still exist.
Puma. And what about the Lulu ones that we got you?
I wear those. They don't last as long for some reason. I've had trouble. I don't know. They get
not as good as the Pumas.
Pumas are more durable.
They have been.
What colors?
It's usually the assorted pack of dark blues and black and gray.
So some blue Pumas. Yeah. All right.
So that's
what is 32 degrees? I've never even heard of that.
Gray Lulu boxer briefs.
Kind of, yeah.
Navy, black. What's 32 degrees? Like more cooling?
They're kind of cooling briefs or not briefs, boxers or boxer briefs.
What happens?
Keep them in the freezer. They're 32 degrees.
32 degrees.
Just slide them on.
Isn't it weird how brands change?
They do.
Like where I remember being a kid and Calvin Klein was like the pinnacle of fashion. And then you're like, oh, cool, I can get Calvin Klein at Walmart now. It's weird, right? Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah, they find
Ralph
a way
Lauren.
to monetize the brand name, and it gets kind of out of their control. And now you're just licensing out the name to just
anybody and everybody.
Now you gave me the those red fire engine red Lululemon.
Oh yeah,
boxer briefs.
That's funny. Yeah.
Which I still have.
Yeah.
I just saved them for
the special occasions.
Right. Which is code for I never wear them. Not that really many special occasions anymore.
I wear my reds every now and then. The ones that really get me are my leopard print ones that my wife got me. Now those look funny walking around the house. That looks really. I do it as a bit.
Your dad walks around in leopard underwear, Bo?
Not really.
No, it's rare, but I do walk around in underwear a lot. I get in trouble for it. My wife is like, you can't answer the door in underwear and a t-shirt in these boxer briefs. Why? She said, because they're Bo's friends. I'm like, every parent I went to, their dad was always in his underwear when I was a kid. Every time I would go over to somebody's house, like, what are you idiots doing in here?
I mean, if someone, it's on them. They're coming up.
They're
to
coming
your
to my
house.
home. I have to change.
You're in your house.
Correct. I'm not nude. I'm underwear and a shirt. They look like shorts.
No, you shouldn't go up to someone else's door.
Correct. And knock on the door and go. I don't go down to his buddy's house to pick him up in underwear. It's in my home. That's what we do. But yeah, I'm always
I always put some sort of pants on if I'm answering the door. I don't walk around in my underwear either.
No,
around the house.
Never.
No. Basketball shorts. Fine.
Shirtless ever?
No.
Wow. Very modest.
Yes.
Yeah. We're a nude family. There's a lot of nudity in my home. Lots. Everyone's kind of walking around nude and no one really cares.
Trow and hog out.
Trow and hog out is kind of our family motto.
Yeah. No, it doesn't really go on at our house.
That's fair.
Everyone remains closed.
Different strokes.
I forgot to ask AJ Preller when we had him on last hour. I knew there was something that I wanted to ask him. I was going to ask him if Xander Bogaerts was going to be back tonight.
Back.
Do we know that for sure?
Yeah, he posted a picture of his private plane and said back to work.
Oh, I didn't see that.
WURK.
Okay, he's good.
He's ready.
All right, well, congratulations. I assume are in order. There was no
I didn't see an announcement
or
but
anything.
He was on paternity leave.
Now he's back.
It was a picture of him getting dropped off by an Escalade and then this beautiful private jet in the back, and he's back to work. So heading out to Baltimore. But I don't know if boy, girl, healthy. I would assume since he's on the road and headed back, everything's fine.
He's a pretty private person.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me.
Private person, except for here's my private jet. I'm about to get on and fly back to go play baseball.
He's just wanted to make sure
private jet.
Yeah. And we got an update on Herman Marquez, Matt Waldron,
Forgot he was
Luis
on the team.
Campusano, all close to returning. Johnny Brito is also still pitching very well.
Brito.
For AAA El Paso.
Giolito and Brito.
Johnny
Brito. Yeah, he's doing fine.
He had 4 innings, 1 run. He's been optioned. He was on rehab.
Yeah.
They activated him, optioned him to AAA, but he remains
Is he like a
possibility for the Padres as well for pitching depth?
Is he like a Marinaccio? Oh, okay. Stammen said he had a baby boy the other day. Congratulations. Okay. It's a fantastic thing. Would he maybe be like a Marinaccio role or a starter?
I think they're looking at him as a starter now.
Okay.
If the Padres, you never know. You're one day away from a starter going down even for 15 days, and you're going to need someone to come up. Padres do have options in Marquez, Waldron, now Brito. The question is, can they keep those guys? Because once the rehab, remember, assignments ends, they can't option Matt Waldron. He doesn't have any options left. I believe Herman Marquez, as a veteran, can decline an assignment. So clock is ticking on those guys. If they're going to return, it'll have to be to the big leagues.
How about this? A 9-man rotation. First of its kind.
Be fine, except you don't want to have a 4-man bullpen with the guys that you've got. You need your bullpen guys as well. So.
That's right.
All right, let's get some headlines from Paulie. It is time for our final Rindle Report of the week.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rindle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rindle Report with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul. All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get
All right.
I'm good.
Okay, how are you?
It got me
That's Brett Michaels of Poison.
Yeah.
And
I'm good.
The caller
I'm good.
from Coach's show
It's
from years and years
incredible.
ago.
What a mashup, dude.
So good. All right, let's get started here. We've been talking about a little more NBA Finals this week than we have in the past, just because of that insane game on Wednesday night. We talked about it earlier in our 7 o'clock hour with Darren Smith. One part of the game that we never got to, we never discussed yesterday. I really wanted to play it because it kind of stopped me in my tracks. Jalen Brunson, you guys never saw any of the clips of the post-game interview? This is how he began his time at the podium after the game on Wednesday night. And it's he's got a really sad story that he shares. There's also, as sad as the story is, I found a little bit of humor in that he opens the press conference with this, and then the reporters are now supposed to ask him about the basketball game, and it was a little bit awkward transition there. But here's Jalen Brunson right after the game on Wednesday night.
Real quick before we get started, just want to say hearts and my thoughts and prayers are with a friend of mine I got to meet and talk to last week, Jonathan from North Carolina, from the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the Garden of Dreams Foundation. He had a heart condition, and it was just asked of me to just kind of take a video and reach out to him, but something in my mind told me just to try and get him on FaceTime, get the chat with him, and I got the pleasure to do so. And it was a quick call, but it was well worth it. And I just want to say my thoughts and prayers for him and his family. Just finding out some news about him today. So may God rest his soul.
Oh.
Jalen, sorry about that, man. What was your viewpoint of OG's tipping?
Come on, dude. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Sorry. Yeah, I was top of the key.
He goes on to answer the question.
Very sad story. Not really coming off the low block tonight as well as you had before. I don't even know if that's a term, but That is
that was after an epic win, of course.
That was after like the greatest,
legendary win.
the greatest
win
comeback
of all
in
time.
finals
You can't
history.
not ask him about the game and the sports stuff. I mean, even though he took it in one direction.
That's a really good strategy.
Well, I mean, if you didn't want to talk about it, like after a
Yeah.
loss, but after the greatest win in, NBA Finals history, you're not trying to usually deflect or change the subject. Usually you encourage the questions.
No, but you can tell that was really, really weighing on his heart.
Well,
it sounded like he found out earlier in the day before the game, and for him to go out there and then play that game afterwards.
The PR guy that was like, all right, Mike, you go first. I don't want to go first. I want to go third. Do not make me go first, and follow that up.
It's good. KG says, why not just ask him about the kid?
That's
Maybe
it.
follow up with that
on
and
the
let
kid.
somebody else bring up basketball.
But then the next person has the exact same problem as the first
So I know
person.
that you were talking about this kid, and I'd like to know more about said kid. And then the next guy is like, it's crazy. It's the first time experiencing Make-A-Wish Foundation. The whole thing ends up being about that.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Somebody said you would have been fine. You would have just plowed right through. If he told that story.
Well, I mean, those guys have a job to do. They're
Yeah.
on a deadline. Need to get their quotes, get their stories filed quickly.
Ben would have told that story in about 10 seconds. It took Jalen, 90 seconds.
Right.
And he would have been like,
Well, he wouldn't have
anyways,
told the
I'd just
story.
be the question
If he was
asker.
the reporter, he would have just been like, it's great. Anyway, so OG's tip in.
In other news,
God,
our traditional transition.
Obviously.
In other news,
yes, or so. Sports.
On an unrelated topic.
So gnarly.
Obviously, heart goes out to the family there.
Gosh.
I think Jalen Brunson seems like a really cool
Yeah,
guy, just a really good
man.
dude, a guy that you would be happy to root for and build your team around. So I did want to highlight that moment because it did get a little bit lost in the shuffle of the excitement of Wednesday nights. We'll move on, talk a little high school sports here. There was a controversy in Massachusetts high school lacrosse.
This is something
Recently, where a group of 9 players were ruled ineligible by the school district heading into their state semifinal matchup. So they were one win away from going to the state championship, and they were told that they were not eligible. Why were they not eligible is because they had a graduation celebration last week, and those 9 students all got together and did a graduation pose for a photo. Wow.
That is a good flow.
Pose for a photo, and they were smoking cigars, or what at least appeared to be cigars.
Okay.
And due to the school and the school district's policy on tobacco or alcohol or anything of that nature, they were ruled ineligible. It was something about, it's like you are suspended for up to what makes 25% of your season.
Right.
Since they're in the playoffs, it'll just be the end of their season. And they're claiming that they were actually fake cigars to begin with. They didn't actually have any tobacco in them. And everyone's going, we really the kids have already graduated. They're finishing up their season. Is this a little bit harsh?
It's funny because
and I don't know
letter
how
of the
many.
law.
the letter of the law, right?
I don't know who was 18 and who was not of this group.
So you can't say, and look, are there varying degrees of
I mean, they don't want students obviously lighting up cigarettes behind home ec class during.
who would ever?
One of the kids, it says here that he and several teammates later recovered one of the cigars, presented it to school administrators as evidence that it did not contain tobacco.
Hey, if it really was a bit, and they were like, hey, look at us, we're not smoking these cigars. These are fake. They weren't bubble gum. They look like real cigars. But if they were not smoking them, you're really not going to let us play in our last game.
And they were cosplaying as
cigar
smoking
smokers.
Celebration.
Yeah.
Light a victory cigar.
Correct.
Also told the news outlet that Principal Jonathan Mitchell initially informed him and his father that the players would be allowed to participate in Tuesday's semifinal match before the decision was reversed about 4 hours before game time. He said it felt like a punch in the face. It felt like we were being called liars.
That's tough. That's a really, really tough one. Now, if you are, when you play high school sports, you sign that contract. I won't do this. I won't do that. A lot of people break it. A lot of people don't. But if you get popped, you're done. Like you got caught. My brother got caught drinking, man. He got kicked off the baseball team. It happens. Like, unless you're Texas Tech quarterback, you sit for a couple innings and you're right back in there. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I think this was, if it was fake, that's a real tough punishment.
Dominic says times have changed. We had a smoking area on campus
sure
at
did.
Hilltop in 1991.
Yeah,
did you
we
have
sure
one?
did. Oh yeah,
smoking area.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember where the smokers at Torrey Pines would hang out, kind of on the steps out in the front. That was where the smokers were.
Yeah, right in the front, huh? God, I bet you were scared
no
of
one
those
really
guys.
came in the front. The front, everyone entered kind of in the back side of the school. That's where the parking lot was. The front was just kind of the facing the street but the buses were down there occasionally, but there were no buses. So
Also, by the way, Paulie, they're saying it was their competition that kind of forced the hand of the school. That's like, we don't want to play these guys, so
because they might infect us with their
with their smoking. We don't want to play these guys.
We
so-
play by the rules, always
Yes.
have, and
Yeah.
we just refuse
It's very
to take the field.
It's very travel ball-y of them. Very travel ball like.
Yeah, 100%. All right, and then finally we'll wrap it up. It's actually kind of a little bit of a
Paulie.
sportsy
Was this
story.
why you were in ISS?
Smoking, yeah,
Smoking?
for one time.
I never
In
smoked in
school
high
suspension?
school.
Yeah,
you didn't smoke in high school.
No, I drank sometimes a little bit.
Yeah,
at
but-
school?
No. Like on the weekends. I just in high
Okay.
school, like the high school ages, I never smoked.
Yeah. No,
Cigarettes.
that's one thing I got in trouble for. I can't remember the rest. I think it was like a accumulation of detention. So
Well-
if I'm late to class, I get a detention. If I'm late 4 times, you have ISS. So I would get, mine was mostly accumulation and smoking and things like that.
I think it's also kind of a sign of the times of our generations too, like you
Yeah.
guys compared to me, because they did a pretty good job here in America of making sure that everyone knew my age that cigarettes were not cool.
Correct.
And it was not fun and it was not good for you.
Our generation was like,
the
dude,
total
these are
opposite.
amazing.
Exactly.
It was crazy.
So my generation, like, it wasn't the cool thing to like get
Yeah.
caught, potentially get caught smoking cigarettes in between classes. That was more like drinking. You wanted to get some vodka or some
Sure.
marijuana or something. That was cool, but smoking was like kind of lame.
But lame, yeah.
In our generation, they wanted us to be abstinent. They had like the abstinence contracts and stuff that
say-
you would sign. Yeah,
Abstinent. Oh, you mean
premarital intercourse.
never signed that one? You
You
must
didn't
have
sign
signed
that
it.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife says cigarettes are cool though. It's funny. We just had a conversation with one of our buddies.
I didn't sign it. I lived it. I didn't sign it.
You might as well have. I'm
You might as
sorry,
well
I
have had it
can't. I have a contract.
You could have had it printed on a T-shirt.
Wait, hold on. Who made you sign this?
No one made anyone
Your
sign it, but
parents?
people did that sort of thing. It was, fighting HIV and AIDS was a
Right.
big thing. It's like, commit to,
It was teenage pregnancy was like a
yeah,
huge
deal.
faux pas. Yeah. Yeah, we did. We had to sign a contract for you won't drink, you won't smoke, things like that for baseball.
I
But
remember that.
yeah, we did.
We had like waivers. I'm sure it was in there somewhere.
I was
Fine print.
wondered.
You signed the sex contract?
I didn't, but the kids who did, I'm going, man, I'm lucky that they have it even necessary. They have an option of choosing one way or the other.
Mr. Woods, it's come to our attention that you're getting very close here. Gonna need you to sign this. Fine, all right. I won't do it.
How many years is this deal that I'm
Yeah,
signing?
for real. Yeah, what are we talking about? You tell me I gotta get married?
Is this a 3-year deal? What are we looking at here on this contract? And
That's
how much am I getting
unbelievable.
paid? Nothing.
That is unbelievable.
All right. Finally, we'll wrap it up here in Hollywood with a little bit of a sports adjacent story. Just a congratulations to a friend of the show, Dave McCary. So this actually got announced, I think, officially a little while ago, but there's been some more reports on his new movie, his new film. It's called The Catch. And
What?
it is The Catch.
Is it coming?
Yeah, it's coming. It has been announced. It's going to be May of 2027,
Let's
and it's a
go.
baseball-themed romantic comedy starring Emma Stone. How do you get her to sign on for that?
Oh, man, she must have auditioned. That audition must have been grueling.
Yeah. Chris Pine will play the other lead in the movie, and there's not a whole lot of details out there right now.
Well, he gave us a bunch of details. We just can't share
I was
them.
going to say, well, shut the hell up.
We've been
what's-
embargoed.
What's been reported is think Bull Durham meets Notting Hill.
Oh, I'm 2 of my favorite movies. I'm in.
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
wait.
all the way in.
And he did it. I'm in.
he is directing the film. And yeah, they've been adding other names like Drewski's going to have a role, Ashley Padilla, but Emma Stone and Chris Pine will be the headliners.
Can't wait.
And Dave is directing it. So just under a year from now is when I don't know if that's set to release. What does it say? Direct the film set to bow on May 21st, 2027.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard that.
Never heard that either. But
Set to bow, set to bow.
Bow?
Does that
is
mean
there any
start
way
or
we can
release?
get invited to like the red carpet debut?
I was watching him, and I was like,
thinking, go up and
Well,
walk the red carpet.
Emma
go to
Stone
the
only knows
premiere.
you as the
I
paparazzi
know.
of the red carpet.
I don't.
Dave's still looking for you inside the diamond room at Petco Park,
Here's-
thinking you guys are partying in there without me.
Here's the thing. You don't ask for it.
No, God, no.
If you're invited, you accept,
Right.
but you certainly don't ask.
Okay.
If you're going to ask for something, though, so this is a baseball themed movie, right?
I thought he was going to.
Well, so it's is there a part for a radio show in there? That's what I thought you were going to ask.
I thought he was gonna, yeah, I was like, ooh, do they need a play-by-play announcer for that movie?
I didn't even think that, but that would be so awesome.
Which one, red carpet or be in the
We
movie?
could be like Don Orsillo talking about fever pitch all
for the
time.
rest of our
For
lives.
the rest of our
Actually,
lives.
never shut up about it. I will join SAG right now, Dave. If you're listening and you need a radio show, we can do that. I can't wait for it though, man. He told us about this concept and when we were at fantasy camp, and he's like, hey, keep it on the down low. Now that it's been announced, that's awesome. Can't wait.
I'm excited that it's turning into a reality.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
100%.
That's
That'd
awesome.
be fun.
All right, Paulie, thank you for that Rindle report. Let's give away the KSON tickets to NASCAR Country Fest coming up to Gallagher Square 1 week from tomorrow, June 20th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Pair of tickets all in, just $97.30 for 97.3 The Fan listeners. But if you want to be the fifth caller right now at 833-288-0973, fifth caller, 833-288-0973, we can win a pair right now with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We'll come back and look ahead at the pitching matchups for the Padres Orioles series and more next on The Fan.
Hey, real quick, wanted to tell all of you folks listening right now, I sent my mother-in-law down to Sedano Ford. Bobo sent your Gaga down. She bought 2 trucks at Sedano Ford, right? The big trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're incredible. Had a great time, great experience. Ford is built into my family. Been driving Fords forever in the Woods family, and now in the Nancaro family as well. So right there, built into our DNA. Manny Sedano Ford in La Mesa, just 15 minutes from wherever you are. They're celebrating dads and grads exclusively right now, and the June offers just dropped. They're really, really great. Sedano Ford unleashing Ford employee pricing for everyone. Walk in, pay exactly what factory employees pay. They've got the very sleek 2026 Ford Maverick XL. It's just $297 a month plus tax. If your child is graduating and wants something really cool and safe, the 2026 Bronco Sport Big Ben is just $306 a month. Or why don't you put dad here on Father's Day? King of the road, the 2026 F-150 STX, just $343 a month plus tax. So backed by an incredible staff, Sedano Ford, proudly locally and veteran owned. Support local. Let them know Woodsy sent you down there. For more details, go to SedanoFord.com. It's SedanoFord.com. He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please
just a
don't.
little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Congratulations to Luis. Won the Country Fest tickets for Gallagher Square from KSON next Saturday. Not too late to get your own tickets at Ticketmaster.com. We had our Friar Friday Management Report guest earlier, AJ Preller. Gwen and Chris will be having Samad Taylor on the program this afternoon.
Nice. The spark plug.
Get to know a little bit about one of the newest members of the San Diego Padres and the impact he's had over his last week. Yeah, he does. You ran into him on the street. You might not think professional baseball player. He's a small guy, but he's had a big impact on the San Diego Padres over this past week.
That's right, man. Playing to stay. We talked about on the roundtable yesterday, like different mentality, right? Then you have a huge contract and whatever. Obviously, there's pressures that come with that, but the pressure of not wanting to go back down is massive, and you just never know when it will click. And so far, so good for Samad. Keep playing defense like that, man. Keep running the bases like that. Keep getting guys over like you have. I mean, the hits have been fantastic and clutch and all that. So been cool to see.
And Kevin Acey wrote, I think in his daily newsletter yesterday, that Craig Stammen said, first thing he said to Samad Taylor was, "We need you to be yourself. Like, don't be afraid to be yourself in this clubhouse." And he has. And, Samad, kind of a positive, vocal, like not afraid to talk. And sometimes rookies, younger players are going to just hey, keep their head down.
Seen and not heard.
Find one of those lockers that's behind a stanchion that nobody really sees you and, go and do your thing. But that hasn't been Samad Taylor. And, they've liked the energy that he's brought to the clubhouse so far in his short time with the Padres.
It's like when Tommy showed up to Shawshank.
Right.
Remember?
We liked him right away.
He was loud and brash and didn't end well for him. I hope it ends better for Samad than it did for Tommy.
But that was because of the warden.
That's right. Craig Stammen being the warden in this case.
I don't think Craig Stammen is the warden in this case.
Who's the warden?
Craig Stammen's more like red.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
he's been inside for a long time now.
He has institutionalized, as it were.
The Padres have institutionalized him.
He's
got wisdom, though,
Yeah.
Good perspective. All right, let's see. We got our matchups for the series here against the Baltimore Orioles, beginning with a 4:05 first pitch tonight, 3:05 Eco Water SoCal pregame show. Griffin Canning still looking for his first win in a Padres uniform. 4:05. 7:05 Eastern, 4:05 Pacific.
Yeah, forgot they're on the East Coast.
Yeah. Griffin Canning 0-4, but did pitch well his last time out. Effectively, they actually won that game. That was the Saturday night win over the New York Mets. He will be opposed by Shane Baz, who is 3-6 with a 4.09 ERA, but that's down from like 5.3. He's been pretty darn good in his last 4 starts. I was looking at his game log. Definitely pitching the best that he has this season. The former Tampa Bay Ray, now Baltimore Oriole, going in the series opener.
Yes, he is pretty nasty. He's pretty nasty indeed. Again, they keep running into these guys because, it's the big leagues. That's what's going to happen. But there's the get right guy for the Padres should have been Singer 2 days ago, right? That was the one you're like, oh, finally, 92 on the hands instead of 97. Shane's pretty nasty. So again, a tough challenge ahead tonight.
But the rest of the series, Randy Vasquez versus TBD tomorrow.
Oh, he's tough, though.
And then Walker Buehler against Trevor Rogers, who has an over 6 ERA.
If this team loses to TBD one more time.
One more time.
But, this is not like going up against the Phillies and getting Wheeler, Nola, and Sanchez. They're not facing aces every single day. Baz is good, but he's also struggled at times this season. And the other two, whoever throws on Saturday and Rogers on Sunday, are definitely beatable, but they're also looking at that Padres lineup and going, hey, this is my chance to get right as well. So, but the Padres, as we have, statistically has been shown, have faced the toughest pitching of like any team this season in terms of stuff plus, velocity.
Not just because they've been bad.
Not just because they've been bad. It's been, documented. The stat came out this week. They looked at the 6 players who have faced like the hardest fastballs all season long. 6 of the 10 are Padres of the top 10.
That was fascinating stuff by Eno Saris yesterday on our show. If you missed it, go back and listen. But he was talking about how, Manny in particular is seeing there's a hump. Guy goes 94 to the first 3 guys. Manny comes up, it's 97. Like it's like you're getting a little bit extra oomph. They're coming after him with heaters. He's missing
I'm
the
sure
heater.
that's true of a lot of star players. Like, hey, if you're gonna reach back and fire with
now's the
extra
time.
for someone, it's going to be against the other team's most dangerous, best hitters. So that's not totally uncommon.
But I think
Manny's been getting a little extra dose of it.
He has, and again, I think because they're it's such a game of trends, they realize this is working. Like this is working. If we go, anything 94 or 5 plus. He's not catching up to it right now. Thanks, teacher man.
And now
Thank
we know.
you.
And now we know a little bit more about why.
Thanks, teacher man.
Manny went and worked with someone, and he's had trouble with his timing and catching up to those fastballs. So he's going to keep seeing them until he proves that he's on them, and then he'll be getting more spin and outside sliders, and he'll have to adjust again because that's what baseball really is. But until he figures out how to beat the fastballs, and he had that nice one in the first inning on Wednesday where he turned on it.
That's Singer though.
It was Singer. It wasn't Shane Baz or someone like that,
right.
But once he does, then he'll have to make another adjustment.
Yep.
All right, so those are your weekend matchups. We will be back on Monday to talk all about it. But in our final segment, barely had any time at all this week. Spin the topic wheel.
That means you had a good week.
So I thought, well, we certainly had it means it was an interesting week at the very least, and there was a lot to talk about. But we figured might as well spin it a couple of times before we get out of here at 10 o'clock. So that is coming up next to wrap up Ben and Woods, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben and Woods, brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I want to thank our in-studio guest today, Bo Woods. He's been well-behaved.
Very well-behaved,
Throughout
right?
the entire, very long program.
Are you surprised?
I'm not. Bo has always been very well-behaved in my company, at least.
That's true. Thank you, buddy.
I've heard stories sometimes, Bo, that you can sometimes get into fights with your brother, but
is that true?
Whenever I've seen it, you guys
Definitely.
have been well-behaved.
Why do you guys fight so much?
Why do you fight so much?
I don't know.
Is it because younger brothers are just really annoying?
Definitely.
Well, he loves you more than anything and just wants to be
Is that
just
really
like
a reason to fight with someone, though, just because they're really annoying? Shouldn't you just be the
Ben and I
older
don't fight,
brother?
and I annoy him, and he annoys
Right,
me.
that's true.
If he loves me, why the hell does he be mean to me?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
It's because he loves you.
It's his job as a younger
Doesn't
brother.
make sense.
It doesn't.
I know.
It doesn't
I know.
really.
I'm sorry.
But sometimes your dad is mean to me, but I know it's because he loves me.
Oh, great job, Dad.
We don't fight.
No, we don't fight.
Most of the time.
No. Not like you and your brother do.
No. Never gets physical.
Never. What does he do that annoys you the most?
It's just his face, isn't it? I mean, I've had my issues with your brother as well. from time to time.
Yeah.
I get it. I do get it.
Ben has.
But
had
we
his
don't.
issues.
We don't fight. We never get into, a real altercation. But I understand how Taylor can get under someone's skin.
Bro, him at the fair yesterday. I want this. I want that. I was like, dude, enough. My God.
I want these. I want that.
All day long. It's crazy.
Can we go there? Can we go here?
Did you do that, you think, though, when you were his age, Bo?
He was so quiet and cool. He was like cool. Bo's always been really kind of quiet and cool. Wasn't much of a whiner. Taylor has taken the whining moniker and has run with it. And then,
the eating.
And the eating. Yeah, he only eats 2 things. He tried to weigh in on what we got for dinner last night. And he goes, I don't want that place. I go, you only eat quesadillas and chicken fingers. They have chicken fingers, so you're in. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I go, your opinion doesn't have any weight in this home because you only eat 2 things. So you don't get a say. I'm sorry.
It is pretty amazing, though, that the Padres' 2 newest players are Taylor and Bowen.
Yeah, Bo and Taylor. Yeah,
Bo and Taylor.
Bo and Taylor. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
But no, man, they're they're going to have a rough summer if they keep this up. They know that. We've already progressed past picking up the wiffle balls. Now we're doing weight training.
Again.
Oh yeah, Bo. We heard about your new game
again. When Dad kicks the bucket over,
makes you clean it up again.
Well, then you know what?
That's the worst.
That's the worst. I thought the new one. I have him doing
the
renegade rows.
Renegade.
Yeah, so you take the little dumbbells, little tiny ones, and you like push up, and then you pull one up, pull the other one up, pull one up, pull the other one up, and he is the whole time.
Fitness training, it's good for you.
My wife's in the
Jane
chat.
N in the chat says, "Why are we trashing Taylor?" I agree. Bo, can you say one nice thing about Taylor?
He's pretty funny.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Shouldn't take this long.
He's got a great smile.
He does.
Doesn't
He's
he?
got a great smile.
He's got a great
He's such
smile.
a good boy. He really is such a good boy, but he has his moments. But I mean, Bo is more of the tantrum thrower, and so that's also hard to deal with. You're
a
little bit. You're like, hey man, can you grab that? And the hat goes flying across the room. I'm like, what?
I
What is
wonder
your
where that
deal?
comes from.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No idea where that
I have
comes
no
from.
idea.
I did.
All right, let's play.
All right, let's spin the
wheel.
topic wheel here. Last couple minutes of the week and of the show.
No, sticky.
I'm trying to figure out the wording here on this one.
Uh-oh.
On
This is
average.
Inappropriate with
Okay,
a
so
child in the studio?
No, nothing like that. On average, how many days per month would you describe as a really good day?
Ooh.
Or better?
All right. So figure 30 days most months.
Call it 30, yeah.
Use your normal life.
Yeah.
When you finish those, how many of those would you say that was a really good day? I would say I'm like at 8, like really good days a month.
Okay. That's exactly how many weekend days there are.
That helps for sure.
I was gonna say like maybe 10 to 12, and I'm like, is that too low?
Yeah, I have
I don't
more.
know.
Mine are more. I'm more these days because of this new project I've got that I'm having so much fun with. Bro, it's 18. 18 to 20.
I think if we all had the idea that it takes less to make a day a really good day,
That's right.
that maybe we'd all be happier. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Nothing special happened, but it's still really
Had a
good
good
day.
day.
Like
Good
I
day.
did 20, 25 really good days a month. and
Yeah.
That would be
I
good.
was like probably between 18. What about you, dude? Out of 30 days, you have a really good day.
Like 15.
15.
Pretty
Pretty
good.
good. That's about
Right.
half the
That's not
time.
bad. I
Yeah,
think that's a
agree
good-
with that. I agree
That's a
with
good
that assessment.
percentage for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely more really good days than I would say really bad days.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
no
yeah.
more than like 1 or
Oh.
maybe even 0 sometimes in a month. I'm lucky. I don't feel like I have a lot of really bad days.
Yeah.
Obviously bad things happen in life.
Sure.
That you can't avoid it, but I definitely have way more really good days than really bad
Me
days.
too.
I think that's always the goal, right?
That's
Yeah.
the goal.
All right, we'll spin it one more time.
One more time.
Maybe even 2 more times. Let's see here. That's... I really hope Bo does not say yes to this question,
Okay.
but you never know. I don't mean to potentially incriminate anybody, but have you ever touched a dead body?
No.
I might have grabbed like my grandfather's, not grabbed, but like touched his body in his coffin.
That would count,
like, but no, it was like his clothes.
Right.
It was a suit. It was, and I patted his arm or something. But that's it.
I remember we called him grandpa, but I think he was like my great grandpa or something. He was in his 90s when he passed away. And I was probably 9 years old, 9 or 10. And I do remember we had an open casket, and it was kind of the first time I'd ever seen a body like that. And I was like, oh, and there was a relative, a very distant relative, an aunt of mine. And she was like very emotional that morning. I remember she was like kissing his forehead.
Oh, I've seen that.
Which is, I've grown up to realize, not that weird. As a 9-year-old, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
I've seen that.
You just kissed a dead body. And I touched his hands were like on his chest or whatever, like folded. And I did like touch his hand. I was like, ugh, it was really kind of freaked me out.
I don't know if your parents did this. Mine did. We might have talked about it before. If you go back to my mom and dad's house and you get the old photo albums out and you start scrolling through them, you'll see pictures of dead people in their caskets. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like
in the photo album.
Yes. Like great grandfather, like posted up in his casket.
Wow. I'm a definite no is my answer to that question.
No, never
touched one.
You've never touched one, and you have no photos of it. Yeah,
No.
It was something about it. They used to do it in like the 70s and 80s.
Really?
Yeah, like great grandparents and stuff.
Please don't, if anyone's thinking of it.
No, it's very odd. You'll scroll through and be like, oh, just taking a picture at this funeral.
Photos are designed. You want to remember the person in life.
I think so.
Don't think you
not
really
in
want to be
death.
reminded of their death.
Yeah.
Why would you
very
take
weird.
a picture of that?
It's very weird. Very weird. That's just how they used to do it.
As Elisa points out, Ben barely touches people when they're alive.
That's true. That's true. No, you've never seen a dead body, have you?
I haven't seen one.
You have on TV or touched one.
Touched one yet.
Yeah, well, hopefully you don't.
I won't.
goals.
Anytime
Well,
soon.
why have you then?
It was my grandfather, and I just grazed his arm, like patted his arm when he was in his coffin.
Dominic says my dad took casket pics of my great grandmother.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. he
It's
said.
very weird. It's very weird. It's a thing, though.
And then there, of course, are our first responders and
Oh, they
nurses.
do it all the time.
And they do it all the time.
Yeah.
And, obviously it's not weird. And
I just see like
we
in
thank them
movies
for
or
it.
television shows, like you see a scene where somebody like literally dies in their arms,
Right,
and I'm like,
right.
I
Oh.
can't even process like what that would be like.
Right.
Stand by me.
Stand by Me. Exactly. They go see Ray Brower, who was hit
You
by
let him
the-
see Stand By Me.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a totally normal reference for an 8-year-old.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Totally.
Rated R.
So what? It's like, you know what my rule is. I don't care about language. we don't do gun violence. We don't do anything.
I could not see a rated R
graphic.
movie until I was 17, the legal age of rated R. So,
But
Bo,
yeah,
you're very lucky.
Ben's
He
kind of
saw-
a dork, isn't he, Bo?
He saw Stand By Me when he was
Ben's
like
kind of a dork.
he saw Stand By Me when he was like 4. That's some buddies coming of age right there.
Yeah. see?
So but we don't do like gun violence. We don't do anything like so.
Okay,
Anything
yeah,
else like
yeah.
that? Bad language in it? All right, go ahead. Nothing you haven't heard before.
Good week, everybody.
Yep,
Thought
great
that
week.
was a fairly solid one. Tier 1s, you were great as always. We thank you. We will rejoin you next Monday at 6 a.m. We'll have Padres Orioles games to talk about, World Cup, might have a new NBA Finals champion in the New York Knicks, or maybe a Game 6 coming up. For Bo Woods, Paul Reindl, and Steven Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Braden and Frank coming up next. Stay tuned. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Have a great weekend, everybody, and so long.